for the tangible. We get lost in the virtual. You less alone when you're logging on. If you're coming over, I just wanna be real with somebody. There's somebody like me. If I tell you how I'm feeling, would you say that you want me? That you want me? 'Cause I'm so sick of all the noise, all the back and forth. Just wanna find a still place where I could go. I lose myself, I cannot help it, I'm emotional. Oh, if you feel like this, would you let me know? Would you let me know? Please let me know. Would you let me know? Oh, if you feel like this, would you let me know? Would you let me know? Please let me know. Would you let me know? Please let me Like empires, we rise and then we fall. Can the tides calling, calling through it all? Titans watching, waiting. Once rivals, now we sit patient. At the end of the world, where will we be? Immortality is calling. They'll speak our names forever. Gonna build an empire. Twin pillars, the east and the west, scorch our names in the dirt. They're calling us in. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? At the end of the world, where will we be? Immortality is calling. They'll speak our names forever. Eclipse the world together.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kaiju Corp Monster Mash charity event. My name is Williams IV, and this is some bonus action, some last-minute stuff that we're helping out our dear friends at Kaiju Corp this afternoon. How are you doing, Captain Jack?
I'm doing a fan-freaking-tastic. I had to bail from my office a little bit, but ain't gonna stop me from being here for this amazing Overwatch action, especially for raising money for some incredible charities. And we got Thunder joining me on the color roll today. Thunder, are you ready to bring the energy?
I was born to bring the energy, baby. I was ready. Yes, absolutely. Let's get after it. I cannot wait to get on the maps today. I am so excited to be casting with y'all. And what a great event. What an amazing event that we have to benefit these charities that we've been talking about, Girls Who Code and Women in Gaming International. All of the donations from today are going to those two very, very, very important organizations within gaming. We love them and we want to support them. So super excited for the day.
Yeah, and this is like I have a good authority, Thunder. This is like you've done well as a Valorant caster. So now we're transitioning you back to Overwatch. How do you feel about that?
I'm super excited. I'm super excited. You know what? Any FPS game I get super hyped for. I always do, and it's just a natural reaction, right? So you hear me a lot of times. I just get overzealous. It just happens. So yes, very excited. I have played a decent amount of Overwatch in my life. I am a tank main for this reason. I don't particularly like to heal. And I don't particularly like not getting healed. So playing tank always tends to work for me. You feel what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Well, here's the drill, man. I'm gonna let you both dive in, and you're in good hands with Captain Jack here. He's one of the best in the industry. I appreciate you both coming out in the last second to put this together. And of course, as you mentioned, it's fitting two great charities this afternoon. So our first match this afternoon is going to be Kaiju Corp Clover versus Project Banana, and you don't want to miss this, ladies and gentlemen. These Kaiju Corp matches are going to go quick. They're going to be interesting, and these teams know each other very, very well. So you're going to see some very familiar plays. So why don't you take it away, Captain Jack, for our first match here?
All right, let's go ahead and get this show on the road. So as Will had already stated, this is going to be a first to two series, or at least that's how I understand it. And the teams are divided up into two groups. These are all Kaiju Corp teams raising money for charity, and each group of teams is supporting one another. I believe that Project Banana is promoting the Women in Gaming group, and then the Kaiju Corp base group is supporting the Girls Who Code. And basically, whichever team gets 2 out of 3 matches, they walk away with a greater sum of the money for their respective charity. But don't worry, the other set of teams also walks away with at least a little bit for their charity as well. And I'm hoping that we do have an exclamation donate link in the chat. If you go ahead and put that in there, I'm sure we have something like that. If not, we'll be able to get that link to you. So Thunder, we don't know a whole lot of the teams that we're going to be seeing today other than their Kaiju teams. And if you watch any of the Kaiju teams perform before in the Invitational, you know that they are always down and dirty, ready and rocking and rolling. And it's going to be an amazing match, however it turns out.
I'm very excited. Like you said, it is going to be an amazing matchup. And look, on a charity stream like this and that sort of thing, these teams, they're going to be very competitive with one another. But at the same time, they know each other very well. That's something that Will mentioned to us. They know each other very well. So when they get on the maps, there's going to be a lot of fun. You're not going to see a lot of tiptoeing around on these maps. You're going to see a lot of getting into it, getting physical, getting dirty, and getting after it. So let's go. Kaiju Corp Clover taking on Project Banana. Take us in, Captain Jack.
Sounds absolutely fantastic. We're starting off on Busan downtown as we go ahead and see Mr. Hash Brown taking to the sky with Copel having that Mercy in tow, and already the picks coming in for the side of Clover. Triple kill, quad kill as Felix ends up finding the monkey in the end. And that's going to be control of the point starting off for Kaiju Clover.
Oh, man, taking the point right there out of some great work from the Anna and from the Tracer. Fantastic stuff from Clover, and now they are on the point set up, ready to rip.
Yeah, JB Rocks coming in with those huge anti-nades is really going to continue to create space. And already, Mr. Hash Brown in the backline serving a good old dose of barrage in the backline. Grabs the double kill there onto Milo and Candy. And the fury of this Far Mercy is just not being fought against. 30% in climate for Clover.
Woo! I tell you, Mr. Hash Brown, he's not only cooking them, he might be burning them out there. He might be burning them, Captain Jack, because that ultimate was absolutely brutal, keeping Project Banana at bay. Wow, what a move.
That is absolutely true. And as the percentage continues to climb, Project Banana is running out of time. We do see Victoria able to get that initial pick, but will immediately get traded with a double, triple kill coming in between Hash Brown and Felix. Clover is indeed holding on to the luck of the Irish right here because they are allowing their skill to speak for itself. 60% in climbing as they continued to stranglehold the point.
Unbelievable stuff. Such good positioning out of this Kaiju Corp Clover team. Doing a great job. You saw right there, Mr. Hash Brown added again, turned around, and looked, there was Aperceptic on the point, turned away, and all it is, one shot to the back, and the Reinhardt is gone, and they just keep climbing away at this point.
Yeah, there's just really seems to be nothing they can do. Self-destruct and Pulse Bomb going in, getting nothing but shield and immortality, but with the shield and immortality down, Hash Brown gets the nano, barrage for the quad kill, and it is a team kill ringing out loud and proud for Clover as they head into final fight territory.
Oh, you said it. I mean, just unbelievable stuff. They have controlled this. They have done a great job of using their ultimates effectively. Everybody on the team, you love to see it. They are now, we're into overtime. I mean, this took almost no time. Unbelievable stuff out of Kaiju Corp Clover. Aperceptic going to try to make a move here, but man, they are positioned so well, this Clover team.
And good old yeet there from the ball and chain as they clean up the DMX Felix as well. Looks like an overtime Project Banana going to be able to unpeel this objective and bring it into their favor to restart their percentage climb. Glitch does end up finding the main man with the minefield, but it's not going to be enough to take it back just yet.
Yeah, you said it. Project Banana making the move onto the point. They did a great job of kind of swarming Clover there to go ahead and take over the point. And now Clover on this, they're going to have to really put something effective together, take this retake, and then take it through, get through that overtime, and not let Project Banana have anything out.
That's absolutely true. As they continue to hold on to this objective, they got to make sure to keep Mr. Hash Brown at bay. And Victoria is doing a great job at it, but you got to get up in the Farah's face. Otherwise, you're not going to get anything done. Candy ends up sending Glitch right on over the side with a big old boot. But Elisa there on the high ground is going to be raining down bullets from that rifle. The minefield, though, Perceptic will go ahead and hold on to the point for now, but with the only one on point being Victoria, that point's getting ready to flip back over. Somebody can't touch quickly.
Yep, you said it, and now we are back into overtime. This fight got interesting there for a minute. Oh, big ultimate from Milo. Oh, going to try to take out the Habsball. Not going to happen. The overtime. This fight on the point, and another minefield goes down.
Minefield goes down, and the Remac grabs the double kill, taking Candy out. That's no support on the objective, and the stagger comes in for Victoria. Self-destruct, locks down the point 100 to 70, as we see Kaiju Corp Clover take the downtown.
They sure do, and right there at the end, you saw Felix waving. Bye-bye. See you later. Goodbye. We took the point, and we're all done here, folks. Fantastic stuff out of Kaiju Corp Clover to take round number one.
All right. I'm messing around with my mic in the background, folks, so apologies for any of that. I know that I'm cutting out a little bit, but looking at the way that these teams are playing, and Project Banana is kind of on a slippery slope, no pun intended, because they're having a very difficult time trying to find their way into these objectives and get the picks needed. It's going to be up to Victoria to really start fighting against Mr. Hash Brown, who has now swapped over to the jump route.
Yes, and I like the Junkrat pick, especially on this part of Busan. I mean, they're going to be coming in, and it's going to be brutal to try to take this point back from Kaiju Corp Clover if they can get on and if they can handle it. But this is absolute mayhem right here. Apperceptic with some kills. This is absolutely nuts up on the top side.
Yeah, that's a great way to go ahead and start things off with the point now unlocked. Victoria is going to go ahead and clear out Felix, stagger them out just a little bit, get that little boop kill there at the end. Control will go over to Project Banana as they start their percentage climb.
You said it, a little Diva v Diva crime there, and it was pretty legendary. So there you have it. Now, Project Banana on the point, and they have great positioning to hold Kaiju Corp Clover up here on the top. A couple of ultimates coming out, great stuff.
Apperceptic getting a little angsty there. The shot comes in, grabs the double, but the cleanup just isn't there. JB Rocks ends up taking down Apperceptic, and the timer finds Milo. And that's going to be enough to continue to hold this point for now. Clover swapped the sides. They're already on the objective, getting ready to take control of it, and it looks like Project Banana doesn't have a peel to stand on. They're going to go ahead and head back to spawn and regroup as Clover takes control.
Either that or they stepped on the peel a little too hard and slipped just a touch. And now here we are. Kaiju Corp Clover, a good retake on the point, and look at their positioning now, just exactly where Project Banana was moments ago on the other side of this map. Great stuff out of Clover.
All right, we go ahead and see the high noon now coming out from the main man. Lalisa looking to create space for either team. Self-destruct from Victoria. Heads into the back line, grabs two, as well as Felix finding Milo in their back line as well. The 2-for-1 trade, though, will get followed up on as they go ahead and take down Egg Tart. And with 40% and climbing, Clover continues to hold this objective and keep it in their favor.
Yep, they sure do. Both of those divas getting at it and dropping the self-destructs almost at the same time. One answering the other. Beautiful stuff. And a couple of trades that were worth it for Kaiju Corp Clover.
All right, you hear the chatter come out there from Glitch, but I'm not for certain it ended up hitting much of anything, or at least didn't end up getting a lot of follow-up. They're going to go ahead and continue to hold this high ground, but Clover is setting up to take Busan right here, right now. Project Banana doesn't turn things around.
You said it, and we have right now, who is that? That is Mr. Hash Brown that has the rip tire just waiting. I'm waiting to see when this thing comes out. Oh! Gets one. And that is that big stuff out of Mr. Hash Brown. Oh, this Clover team is looking great right now.
The AM Matrix came out for Egg Tart, and Clover said, nah, the window works both ways. Even though it wasn't amping their damage, it sure as heck wasn't stopping it from coming in. And it looks like we do have the main man there on the high ground, just barely able to trigger the overtime. Gets found by Lalisa. The meteor strike comes in, trying to find Lalisa, and takes him out with a good old uppercut with no shield. Nobody is going to be able to stay on that objective as overtime continues to tick away. Candy for Days trying to hold on Apperceptic now on the wrecking ball to see if we can sustain on the objective. Thankfully, overtime still a little longer than you would normally expect, but is away from the point just a little bit too long. Kaiju Corp Clover walks away with the victory here on Busan and puts the first point on the board.
You said it. What an effort there at the end out of Apperceptic. And of course, play of the game going to Mr. Hash Brown. What an unbelievable effort out of that player. I mean, Mr. Hash Brown just whooping through both parts of this map that we saw today. Unbelievable stuff. Great from Mr. Hash Brown. But right there at the end, as we were talking about, Apperceptic almost gets back onto the point, but just gets a little too far away in that Hammond and not able to touch the point in that overtime. GG's. What a fantastic game, number one.
Yeah, Control is always an interesting map to have to deal with because it's all about timing. If you don't have that extra bit of time on the clock, as that percentage continues to tick up and up, it's going to be that much harder to be able to take control. We're actually going to throw it to a quick break, but we will be back with more Kaiju Corp action in just a few moments. Stay tuned.
See you shortly.
empire.
All right, welcome back, folks. Hopefully, I don't sound like somebody took a whole bunch of pieces of paper and cut out every word of what I was saying. So now that we've got that figured out, it looks like we're getting ready to head into our next map. Now, this is Clover's map to take. If they take it, then we are done. The first series is over, and it'll be up to the remaining teams of Project Banana to be able to lock it down. And it looks like the map has already been chosen. Thunder, we are heading to Dorado.
Yes, we are. This escort map, I'm very excited about it. You know, these two teams, they had a couple of really good clashes on the control map to start off, but I want to see how this escort happens. You know, we mentioned that not just Aperceptic, but there were a couple of players for Project Banana that were right close there at the end of that control map, starting number one, but they weren't close enough to get back to the point. Right. So now that we're working with a point that moves and a payload that is moving, right? How are they going to react when things get spread out? I think that Project Banana has to play very smart and very tight, not super close together, but tight enough that they don't get put out of place.
Yeah, the one thing that they're really going to have to be looking out for, especially here on Dorado first and second point, is going to be Mr. Hash Brown on that Farah. If that does not come back out, I'm honestly going to be incredibly surprised, because that Farah was literally tearing up Busan downtown, and at very least on points Alpha and Bravo, there is a whole bunch of sky to be controlled. It is going to be up to the off tank and the hit scan DPS of Project Banana to really start keeping Mr. Hash Brown out of play.
I think Mr. Hash Brown is definitely going to be a difference maker. There are a couple of other players out there that will be as well. But like you said about the Farah, right? When what we saw on map number one from Mr. Hash Brown was not only effective use of utility and shooting and all of that, but effective movement, very, very, very effective and efficient movement out of that Farah. And now, and in that, on that first map, I want to say Mr. Hash Brown had the ultimate. I mean, within, it felt like moments, mere moments, that ultimate was coming out.
Seconds. Yeah.
So if you let Mr. Hash Brown get the damage and get the ultimates, sayonara, because that is going to be just brutal for your team to get past.
Yeah, but it looks like Project Banana is opting for a composition that will actually make it a lot harder for Mr. Hash Brown to get the value they're looking for. But right now, they're not toying around with that far, or at least not just yet. Having this dive composition, even on the defense, although typically is not something that you would see, is going to allow the team to play a lot more spread out and not get caught with their pants down, getting a whole bunch of rockets to the face.
Yeah, you said it. We see now the switch for Mr. Hash Brown and Lalisa playing Soldier last game and doing great stuff. I saw a lot of good crosshair placement, so I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. Main man getting a big kill.
That's a great way to start off. Taking down Copel in the beginning is going to keep that Farah pretty much out of the sky, because they're going to have to depend on JB Rocks for that healing. As we see Victoria chasing after Glitch, who needing to get some kind of healing. We're going to see Copel just barely be able to rescue them and get back into the action as they go ahead and take control of this high ground, or they're trying to. Apercepic able to just barely get away, but JB Rocks finds them as the payload makes its way past the choke into an objective alpha.
You said it. Kaiju Corp Clover moving things along right now, doing a great job. Mr. Hash Brown, again, a couple of big frags, but you said it. JB Rocks and Felix coming in with some big plays as well to keep this thing moving along.
Ooh, that soldier is proving to be really deadly from Lalisa, and especially as we move into objective 2, that's going to make it even harder because there is so much high ground for Lalisa to take advantage of if they choose to. Wow. As you can see, no one from Project Banana poking out to save Candy for days right there. Unfortunate. And it looks like Egg Tart going to be the next to fall with 5 minutes on the clock. They got to change something up if they want to lock down objective Bravo.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this Lalisa has just gone absolutely nuts right here with the soldier. You love to see it. Like I said before, that crosshair placement is absolutely on and doing so well, getting space for their team. Fantastic stuff.
All right, Glitch using the Primal Rage to just go ahead and push back Project Banana a little bit more. The barrage does get eaten up by the defense matrix, so no big barrage kills for Mr. Hash Brown this time around as Felix continues to try to help control the skies. Self-destruct going in deep, but the bubble is there. Gonna go ahead and protect the team, but it will not protect the supports from Mr. Hash Brown. The bubble goes down to the bomb, and that looks like, well, I was going to say it looks like the payload's going to be pushing it, but nobody's. No.
You got to get somebody to stand on that thing and get it moving. Everybody, again, we talked about positioning in between these maps. You know, get some people on the point. You got to play at least somewhat close, okay, but spread out enough that you're giving your team space, and Kaiju Corp Clover is doing a great job of it right now.
That's true. This is going to be the hard area for Mr. Hash Brown to be able to work as we move our way into the last point of Dorado. But it looks like they're not having much of a problem at all. As a matter of fact, they're literally just hanging out in this side area, not a place that you would expect a Pharah to be. These tight sight lines that literally could mean life or death. I mean, I feel like I'm watching a little bit of a European Open division right now and what we typically see from the Pharahs there.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely ridiculous to get in there. You know, you said it, Pharah, such a rangy hero. But then this, Mr. Hash Brown, just not scared to get into it, right?
Yeah, I find it really interesting that the main man's still holding on to that Widow, but what do I know? As you see the pick coming in, the res will get utilized by Copel, though, so not going to have that utility as the rest of the team pushes into the high ground. Barrage comes out. Mr. Hash Brown finds 2, and that's going to be enough to go ahead and push past the final choke as they still have 4 minutes moving into the final objective. Tac Visor from Lalisa goes ahead and starts cleaning up the skies, finds Candy and Apreseptic, and that is gonna be it with a minute 40, minute 50 on the clock. That's going to go ahead and push right on in for Kaiju Corp Clover, unless we see something crazy come out. But I think this is just going to be a feed fest from the spawn. They'll be able to tack off a little bit of extra time off this objective, but unless something big happens, Self-Destruct actually finds Glitch. That's going to be a good way to start things off. But Mr. Hash Brown still has control of the sky and the payload. 3:28 on the clock as we head into round 2 to see if Project Banana can cause Clover to slip up.
Yeah, we shall see. What an effort out of Clover right there. They used their ultimates at the end very effectively, timed them out perfectly, and it was great. It was just fantastic. Now, Project Banana, they're going to have to come out really strong right here. They're going to have to push Kaiju Corp Clover back as far as they possibly can and make sure they leave at least 1, if not 2 people sitting on that payload ready to go.
Yeah, that's going to be the difficult part that's always the difficult part about dive, especially when you've got that Ana, because it just leaves her so vulnerable. And if you're not paying attention and you don't dive back for that support, not only are you not getting that point progress, but you're also not getting that extra value from the Ana just playing their role efficiently. But right now, it looks like Mr. Hash Brown opting this time for the Echo, and we know how absolutely deadly she is. Let's go ahead and see if Milo and Candy for Days can show off their Far Mercy skills as they push into this objective.
Yeah, I love the pick out of Mr. Hash Brown, the Echo, Mr. Hash Brown is just so unbelievably good with projectiles. So unbelievably good. You love to see it. Lalisa doing work again with the soldier. Absolutely brutal stuff. I want to know what other FPS games Lalisa plays.
Yeah, the tracking is almost impeccable at this point. We see the DMEC come out for Victoria, but Antiseptic does help take Lalisa down to end that reign, and Milo gets the follow-up on Mr. Hash Brown without any DPS in the fight. Looks like Kaiju Clover going to go ahead and pull back and let this banana slide on through the objective.
You said it. They are moving along very nicely right here. I think Project Banana, if they keep the momentum going, they are going to stay in this thing. Apperceptic almost there with an ult. When is that going to come out, though? I mean, we have seen fantastic stuff out of... Oh! Mr. Hash Brown going down to Milo. Oh, taking a shot to the dome.
That was absolutely beautiful right there. That's the kind of Pharah play you want to see. We do see JB Roxo does get the follow-up on to Egg Tart, so it's an even 5v5, but your main support out of the fight is going to be much more deadly than having out one of your DPS. And that cleanup coming in with the tack visor from Lalisa will go ahead and lock down the objective at 74 meters.
That is correct. You know, we've seen it all day so far. All day so far, we have seen Kaiju Corp Clover playing so well together as a unit, but having individual performances. Each one of these players is getting kills over and over. You're not just seeing 2-3Ks repeatedly. It is individual performances, individual picks that are going so well, but they are facing down a number of ultimates here for Project Banana. So let's see when those come out and how those come out. I'm very interested.
Yeah, unfortunately, Clover did not stagger out their ultimates as good as they hoped they would, because now there are a lot of ultimates coming online, but that pulse bomb not going to get used anytime soon as we see the main man heading back to spawn, and Lalisa and the rest of Clover just clean up the high ground. The absolute aggression and patience coming out from Clover, just waiting for Project Banana to get in position to take advantage of that high ground positioning. Gonna shave another minute off that clock.
Glitch is going nuts with this Winston right now. The movement is fantastic. I love everything I'm seeing out of this tank. It's great, and it is keeping Project Banana at bay. I mean, what a role. What a role Glitch is playing right now on top of these buildings. Absolutely crazy.
Well, let's see if their continual monkeying around will continue to keep things going. Looks like the main man is using that tracer to go ahead and get into the back line and try to get that payload moving. Victoria sends the self-destruct in deep, finds 0 value, and Milo already finds Mr. Hash Brown. Tack visor not able to take down Milo, and Candy able to get just barely out of the way as we see the self-destruct now coming out for Felix, and doesn't find the value it's looking for either, but yet the payload still stalled right now at that 74 meter mark. It has to get back to rolling because there's only 10 seconds left on the clock, and there are ultimates online. Apperceptic and the barrage coming out from Mr. Hash Brown only finds the DMEC out right there and able to get the follow-up on Apperceptic, and triple kill cleanup. Lalisa helping Mr. Hash Brown draw the line in the sand. And that is all she wrote. Kaiju Corp Clover walking away with a 2-0 after taking away Dorado, and will put their group 1-0 against Project Banana.
Unbelievable. And look at this, Mr. Hash Brown, the movement. This is it. The push that we talked about. Not being afraid to get in and get messy. Oh, unbelievable. Man, Mr. Hash Brown, what a day. What a day. We talked about it so much, that Pharah play. Up and down everywhere, whether it was out in the open or in close quarters. Not scared. Mr. Hash Brown, two, count them, play of the games today. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. Fantastic for Clover.
I mean, I gotta say it. If you got a Farah in the sky as skilled as Mr. Hash Brown, you always got to be investing your resources there. So hopefully, some of the other teams on Project Banana do have some hit scan DPS that are ready and raring to fight against the power that could be Mr. Hash Brown. I know that some of the teams will contain some of this team in the series to come, but we want to remind you about the two charities that we're raising money for today before we go ahead and throw it over to our next casting pairs. So first off, we have a Girls Who Code. This is an amazing organization that reaches out around the world and is on track to helping close the gender gap with new entry-level tech jobs by 2030 for women and people of color. They have reached over 500 million people, served 450,000 girls, and have given out 50% hugs, which is pretty awesome during a time like these. Make sure to check them out at girlswhocode.com. You can also check out Women in Games, the other charity we're raising money for today. They are activists and believe that getting more women into games and esports should be framed as a national, international, and strategic priority. A business case for stronger teams, better insight, and innovative new projects. They believe with more people, more diversity, and more perspectives. Check that out at womeningames.org. So, oh, yes. And be sure to hit !donate in the chat so that you can get access to that donation link. Remember, the proceeds are going to be divided up amongst these two organizations as to which of our teams are going to be taking away the victory today. Thunder, anything else you want to talk about before we go ahead and hand it on over to a break for our next casting pair?
You know, I'm just going to recommend that everybody stay right here. Okay, stick with us for the rest of the day. We have a lot more great Overwatch coming your way, a lot of great esports and events and stuff. And again, if you can, please support these two organizations. There is nothing more important than not only getting women involved in gaming and esports, but also making gaming and esports a welcoming environment for those individuals as well, and for women in our community. Okay, nothing more important than that, really. So let's get after it. Thank you, folks, for being here. I appreciate being here. It's been a fun day, Captain Jack. It's been a blast. I knew we were going to have fun casting together.
Absolutely, Thunder. The pleasure was all mine. So, folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more amazing Kaiju Corp action at the end of this break.
1, you live.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and family beyond the binary, welcome back to the Kaiju Corp Monster Mash Tournament. I'm going to be your play-by-play for the next match. My name is Warren Juggle God Hammond, and I am joined on the mic by none other than Will English himself. How are you doing today, buddy?
You know, I always love the opportunity to be welcomed back on my own broadcast, but thank you very much for coming in as such a clutch hour, Juggle God. I really appreciate this. And yes, we are into match 2, ladies and gentlemen, of our matchup here. And I have to rein myself in a little bit because, you know, I'm used to being, you know, kind of the play-by-play guy, so I'm just putting one hand behind my back here and see how I do with the legend himself, Mr. Juggle God. So thank you so much for welcoming me back. But yeah, we got ourselves an interesting match here, Juggle.
Yeah, we certainly do. We've got TMC, Tengu's Money Crew, going up against Tanker, and I'm excited to see this matchup. Both teams, I think are really going to bring their A game today.
Yeah, absolutely. On top of that, like, you know, we're playing for a decent charity here too, right?
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. We are playing for Girls Who Code and Women in Gaming as well. And each of the teams is going to be playing for one side or the other. And I understand right now Women in Gaming is up 1-0 based on the last map, correct?
Yeah, so Kaiju Corp Clover is playing for I forget which the meta team. There's like a meta team going on, but either way, yes, they are up 1-0 for Women in Gaming right now. Girls of Code, I mean, but on the other side though, I mean, Tango is on Tango on Tank. Is he playing on Tanker or Tango's Money Crew? I'm not sure, but like either way, he's going to definitely be in the running here to try to bring up the other side for Girls of Code. But either way, no matter what happens today, both teams will benefit from here because again, donations will be made from Kaiju Corp to both of these organizations. Just the matter of percentage will depend on how well teams do. So why don't you talk about our next map, Juggle?
Yeah, I am excited to talk about our next map. So we are going to be going to Nepal, and I love this map. Lots of interesting architecture here. We've got, of course, Sanctum, which has that giant pit in the middle. We have Shrine, which is this interesting point just perched on top of this high ground. And last but not least, of course, we have Nepal Village, which has that house that's kind of like really bunkered into, you know, there's not too many ways into it. And there's a lot of head cover as well. So lots of different composition options that I think we could see rolling out here for either of these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. Like the maps, like they're so excited about the teams, ladies and gentlemen. They're already getting started. So we're gonna get into Nepal here, and you know, like I said, Juggle. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you. Why don't you take it away?
No, you are just fine. Well, you were doing great. We got this. Now both teams rolling out the point, and we do have a double bubble coming up versus a dive composition. We have a interesting engagement so far. Spooty on TMC trying to get in a little bit of damage onto the other main take, Junsu, and they fall very quickly. So early advantage to TMC so far. Looks like a exit pick does come out though onto Lex, so not too bad for Tanker as well. But I think it's going to be firmly in the favor of TMC.
Yeah, TMC is kind of the expert team here, ladies and gentlemen. Like again, I was going to say Tengu is actually playing on Tanker though, as opposed to Tengu's Money Crew as his namesake. But either way, yeah, the kills coming in early, and it looks like it's going to be a catch for TMC. But it looks like Tanker is going to try to recontest here at the last second.
Yeah, they certainly are. They're making a very good case for this recontest as well. Although now that Spooty is back on the point, it's going to be a lot harder for Junsu to get in there, especially because he's dead now.
Yeah, so it looks like Tanker was going to reset here and just back up, and so the TMC does capture this first point, but not for long. It looks like Tanker is going to reset here and try again.
Yeah, that they are, especially because of that pick onto Spooty. Tanker's going to have a short 6v5 here in their favor, but they're going to have to get past this pulse bomb that Lect has as well. Tosses it out, isn't able to find anything. Just to the right of Semmer on that Zenyatta. And now Zaf almost has this EMP built up as well, but they're not going to be able to use it now because Kaiju Tanker is just too strong on point.
Yeah, Tanker just exported probably about 3 different ultimates. Look like Danny already has their pulse bomb right back as well. And so as you can see results here, the point is flipped back over for Tanker, and we're looking for Team C what they're going to do in their next tech, but not if they keep getting eliminated like this.
Yeah, exactly. They're running up against a lot of problems right here, trying to go into the just the entryway here to get to point. So they're going to need to regroup and maybe take this a little bit slower and a little bit more carefully.
Yeah, for sure. So looks like we're going to regroup here. The percentage is even on this control point, but that is not going to be for long. And looking like Kaiju Corp TMC is going to set up for their next fight here. They're going to have the ultimate advantage going into this next fight as well. I mean, they're going to have both their tanks ultimates along with both. They're going to have almost a full stack. They have 5 or 6. So here goes for this next attack.
Yeah, here it comes. The point starting to get captured. Spooty jumps off it to try and find a little bit of value. Here's the EMP, though. It catches out 2 members of Tanker. Io uses the Graviton Surge as well, but not able to really get much value. But a huge Diva Bomb comes in for Felix Felicis. They're able to catch out a couple of members of Tanker. And TMC going to be able to hold on to this point now.
Yeah, that was a great Diva Bomb coming from Felix Felicis, and I always have a problem pronouncing their handles. So like I think we both just made an attempt at it. But either way, I mean it's looking like Tanker is looking in desperation mode here. They're going to try to contest bar again. The dueling bubbles come out on the other side of this point, but not too much. The Primal Ranges also got popped as well, Juggle.
Yeah, that it did. And that's going to cause a lot of disruption now for TMC. But there's the sound barrier as well. It's not going to protect Lekt, though, quite enough, nor Jexus, as Tanker coming in off the back of this fantastic tack visor from Tengu.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Tengu is normally a support player in most of the teams that he plays on. His kind of his signature hero is the Zenyatta, but like looking at that soldier is looking pretty good on his hit scan here going into this next fight. So they flip the point back, but you know, again, it's not exactly desperation territory yet, but they definitely have to hold on strong when in the face of the assault for TMC.
Yeah, they certainly do. And the ults are really in favor of Tanker right now. As we can see, Lekt is going to get their Death Blossom online relatively soon, but not soon enough to neutralize this Graviton Surge that comes out and catches several members of TMC. But despite them getting caught in that Graviton Surge, only Currymaker falls. And that's going to leave so many members of TMC up and alive that they're going to be able to clean out the rest of Tanker.
Yeah, it's not looking good for Tanker right now. I mean, like they didn't capitalize on that Graviton Surge as you mentioned, and now it just looks like they're probably just going to flip out the TMC here. So now they're at 91%. So like losing one fight could end this control point here, but it's getting close to the wire, Juggle.
Yeah, it certainly is. We are firmly approaching fast fight territory right now. Lekt trying to get a little bit of damage in on Io, who, by the way, is playing all the way from China, which I think is very incredible. Hope the ping isn't too bad. But we see Spooty jumps in for the engagement on the right side of point. It gets booped, but does come back up, and the Death Blossom from Lekt is massive. And with only a few members left from TMC, from Tanker, this is all gonna go the way of TMC as soon as they deal with this primaling Winston.
Yeah, the power race comes a little bit too late, and like TMC looks like it's going to capture this first point here. And as you mentioned, like all the value came in the world from TMC. They were basically holding their ultimates for that last fight, and it paid off in dividends as well. And the only person left from Tanker was that Primal Rage Winston, just trying to keep their team alive. But now we're up 1-0 for TMC, and we head into our next control point.
Yeah, and that next control point is going to be Shrine. So we're going to be on top of the hill. I think this is the most appropriate King of the Hill map or sub map, I think, because we are literally actually on a hill this time. So excited to see what teams are going to come out with here. Looks like we might have a little bit of a comp mismatch. Dive going up against Brawl at the moment. So this could be very interesting. I always love to see these non-mirror matchups and how they fare as the gates open.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, both of these teams are extremely familiar with each other. They scrim and practice with each other all the time. So where you would expect some kind of meta comps for most of these things, these players know each other so well, they want to try something a little bit different here. And we're all playing for charity anyway, so we're going to see what the fights can break out on the top of this hill.
Yeah, exactly. Already, Spooty is picked out from the fight, so without a main tank, TMC is going to have a hard time gaining momentum and getting space on this point. Zaf forced to back out momentarily to get this health pack, but Lekt layering in a lot of damage onto the point. But this point firmly in favor right now of Tanker, especially after that pick onto the Pharmacy in the sky.
Oh my goodness! It's now that they're going to capture his first point. I'm looking like TMC is going to reset here, but if I know Tengu like in their company as well, they usually try to recontest early to see if they can catch their team off guard, but it's not going to work well. But maybe it will as 2 more kills comes in from TMC, and now they're pushing forward here so they get this point back.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to be able to do just that. The Immortality Field comes out from Rannoch, but it's going to run out very, very quickly. Jansu able to get a pick onto Zaf, though. So TMC not left without any hope. Or rather, Kaiju Corp not left without any hope, as they do get one pick, but I don't think it's going to be enough. But here comes the barrage from Lect, phenomenal work right there. And TMC is going to take control of this point for the first time.
I mean, you see Lect on the Death Blossom getting value with 3 kills, and now you see 2 kills coming in from the Rocket Barrage from Faro as well, and they do accomplish their goal, flipping the point back. And again, like I said, I was just as I predicted, kind of the early recontest caught Tinker off guard, and now they're going to have to reset here. They will have a little bit of ultimate coming into this next fight, but not by much, as they're going to take off this next fight.
Yeah, that's a good point. Spooty almost has this shatter online. They just need one swing to get it in, but he isn't able to get it in time. Junsu with a massive shatter knocks out several members of TMC, and that is going to do it. That team is wiped out, and Tanker comes back with the point control.
I mean, look at this! Like, just the ultimate cycling, the value coming in. Like they Tinker had a plan, they executed it perfectly, and now TMC is gonna have to reset again. And now they're looking at the barrel of a 42% climb for Tinker. And these matches have been close for every control point, but Tinker seems to just wait for the last minute from theatrics to kind of pull this out. But now this next fight's coming in from Tinker.
Yeah, that it is. The Graviton Surge committed early by Tanker, and 3 members go down, mostly due to a Fire Strike. Didn't even necessarily need that Dragon Strike, but hey, throw it in there too. Make sure that it happens, and Felix Felicis just jumps off the edge.
Yeah, you hate to see it. The Grab Dragon combo did do a lot of value for Tanker. And again, look at the coordination for Tanker as well. You can tell that they are a very synergistic kind of team. They don't just throw ults randomly. It's always a plan involved. And so you saw the grab, you saw the dragon, and then the fire stick kind of filled out as well. So you didn't see direct kills with both ultimates, but it was definitely what the effect was going on. So now TMC is going to reset again, and they're going to go into the high ground this time around as opposed to going right in the front.
Yeah, that they are. They commit the nano boost onto Lect on that Doomfist, looking for that one pick potential. He hasn't been able to find anyone yet, but he has gotten Junsu out of the fight. And oh, what a fantastic seismic slam on a charging Reinhardt back to the point. You gotta love that kind of prediction that you see there from Lect. And with overtime clicking over, it's now going to go back in favor of TMC.
Oh, we also have to forget to mention that one player from Kaiju Corp Tanker, I believe it's IO, is playing from China right now, ladies and gentlemen. So they're playing through all the ping difference right now. They're trying to carry their team forward here. So they're doing this well, even with that. And he's on that tank for Zarya for the Graviton Surge. So by the way, yeah, Lect is coming through. I think this is his 3rd hero in this matchup so far. And he gets another value and and here comes the next fight. And IO coming out clutch.
Yeah, and oh my gosh, Tanker doing a phenomenal job. They just walk onto the point and take it away from TMC. And with 99 on the point, it's going to be up to somebody to have some heroics to jump back to point here and to keep this thing alive for TMC. But yeah, I don't know if anybody's even going to be able to make it.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's a little bit too little too late here, and it goes to the way of Tanker, and now we're tied up 1-1 going into a final control point. But I was going to say, like, yeah, it's just like, it was looking like forcing movable object kind of situation here with Tanker, having all the ultimates in place, and they were just toying with their food at this point. They were off for maybe about 15 seconds or so, but they knew they had the advantage, and just said, okay, Lect, you came in, you were a hero, and now you get to go away deep into the dark night. So we're into our last map here, and again, it's tied up. It's been close every single control map. We haven't got like 99-99, but like the fights have been extremely even and close here. So we're looking to see who's going to pull out just a little bit further here going into our last map.
Yeah, and it really could be anybody's game. Like you said, both of these matches have been very close. Each team seeming to do well on attack, but not seeming to hold on to much of a defense. That is until Tanker was able to win a few fights on defense that last map. But this is a new map. It's a new day, and it is a new fight for each of these teams. So let's see what they can come out here with.
Absolutely. So here, this first point is going to the fight is breaking out in the first point here, just right out front, and then Reinhardt for Switty is taking strong and standing strong, just trying to not get taken down the shield. But you're just going to feed him all the old challenge in the world, though, as you're going to do that. I mean, like why, like. You see, he's still feeding. All right, still feeding. No, that's okay. So TMC is going to capture the first point, but like in the middle of just this sporadic battle here, no one's going down just yet, and this Reinhardt shield just still in place, and their supports are keeping them up. He's down to 42 HP, and the immortality field might keep him alive, but not by long. Come on. Okay, this is ridiculous.
Oh
this is getting ridiculous. Nobody's gone down yet. Where are we playing Ring Around Rosie here? This is Overwatch, people. Okay, here we go. Now the trades are starting to come in.
Yeah, they are. They're coming in droves. It's like a waterfall finally broke or something, or a dam finally broke, and the kills are just flying left and right. Kaiju Corp Tanker coming up with the win eventually, but look at that percentage on the board. 31% for TMC, without even a fight win.
I know. That was ridiculous, and again, it was just completely ridiculous. But again, it speaks to kind of like this organization and kind of like again the teams knowing each other. So I think it was just a little bit of like a expert, like theory crafting kind of setting up here, and not really a real fight. But the Gravitas comes out along with the Dragons is going to see if they can start this fight off, and the E comes in as well.
Yeah, that Shatter was able to get in right before that Mayball came out too, so they got a lot of value. Both Soundberry is committed as well from each team. Picks on either side, and at 32%, TMC gonna retake control of this as they finish off these last few picks.
So there we go. So now it looks like again this fight is going to go back and forth and back and forth. It's going to be one or two key picks juggle to see if we're going to finish this out here. But 45%, it's not going to be. It's not. Nothing is safe here in these kind of matchups here. It's just a matter of who has the advantage. Who's going to have the 100% before the other team does. I mean, as pure of a combat as it ends up being. Tinker is going to look like they're going to reset here. Now they're going to take this fight outside of the point here and try to push forward.
Yeah, they are. And push forward, they start to do, but they decide to wait just a moment here at this corner. They're not quite ready to push in yet. They want to bait out this Maywall, which is gone now. So now the aggression, I think, is going to come in. And here we start to see it. Danny already gets some picks onto Jexus. Amplification Matrix committed as well. And Felix Felicis actually finds some value with the Diva Bomb as well. So what looked like an early advantage for Tanker is going the way of TMC.
Oh, look at the! Oh my God, the shattering is all into their faces, and there's to see if they're all the ultimates going to come off from Tinker. It's almost desperation time at this point. But that Zaf and that Zenyatta just staying in the corner and avoiding the dragon the entire ultimate, and still standing is 90% for TMC. And if they don't flip this soon, it's going to be a win for kaiju for TMC. But that's by long. They have cleared players off of this point, and now it's switching back over to Tinker.
Yeah, with 35% on the clock, they have a long road ahead of them. They need to win several fights here if they're going to hope to take this map, whereas TMC really only has to win one and then probably just deal with a few staggers. Danny looking for an early pick, an early head to take off, and he finds it in Zaf. Throws in the extra storm arrows as well to try and get a little bit more value. But this is going to be, I think, an early fight win for TMC.
I mean, they're playing at their spawn, ladies and gentlemen. They're just trying to just like eliminate all opposition here and just make it personal. Or maybe they're just extending this fight just a little bit longer than necessary. But either way, it's still cutting down the percentage here for Tinker. And it's like, but it looks like TMC has come out on top, and there's no one here from Tinker to contest.
No, there's not. TMC is going to retake this very easily and quickly. And I don't know if anybody's even going to be able to touch. Here comes a Dragon Strike on a point, and that's going to do it. TMC comes up with the first win.
Yep. Just again, it was a little bit more domination coming in from TMC, but not by much. I mean, it was a little bit too close for comfort here, if I'm concerned about for TMC. But either way, they pull off the win for the first map here, and we're gonna see what this play game is. This is gonna be the Lelect Death Blossom on that first point.
Oh, yeah, right on the heels of that EMP too. Just a beautiful play there from all of TMC. Gotta love it. And as we move on to our next map, it's gonna be up to Tanker to try and figure out, what they're going to change, what they're going to do to bring this back in their favor. And, the changes might not have to be dramatic because like we've both been saying, it wasn't that big of a difference between the score for the two teams.
Yeah, not at all. But I will also say what's slightly confusing me is, again, I'm used to seeing Tengu on a different team. So like Tengu has played I'm giving you a little bit of history here that you're not not be aware of. So
yeah.
But Tengu has played in a couple of our tournaments. He plays as part of Tengu's Money Crew, or he's playing in TMC. No, I'm sorry. He played a Tengu to Baby in the Friends and Family tournament, and he was playing with a whole bunch of washed-up contenders players. I'm sorry, Neptune. I had to say it. And then today he's playing on Tanker, but then the other team is Tengu's Money Crew. And so like every time I'm thinking about Tengu's playing on this team that they just lost. I'm like, no, wait, no, he did. No, did he? No, TMC won, but is it Tengu? No, it's okay. So Tengu is playing on Tinker, T-N-K-R, and they are down right now. And then I would also say is there's also what I like to call the Tengu clutch factor, which is usually he doesn't like to play from behind, but he doesn't take losses slightly. So he'll adjust his strategy. And he's a good leader to keep his team calm. If you see him playing, he's kind of that killer focus, right? It's just like the more he focuses, the more he sees calm. The worse it gets, right? And the more he's going to pull off. And again, he's also playing DPS as well, which again I'm not used to seeing. I'm used to seeing him in support, but either way. We'll see how it all pans out for Tengu. I mean, I just don't count him out yet. Like he's got a good team around around him, and I'm sure that he's going to be pushing forward. And also, too, I mean, we also saw as the Lect on the other side. I believe that Lect plays for a Northwestern team, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be right. I could be wrong. But either way, like, you know, Lect is kind of a superstar DPS as well on whatever team they play for. Was showing us a showcase of 4 different heroes during that last matchup, Juggle.
Yeah, that's true. They did. And, you know, I want to go back and speak about Tengu as well again, because, you know, I think that, you know, like you were saying, the calm and cold coordination that they have, that can be so beneficial. And you're absolutely right. If he can rally his team behind him, then they're going to be able to bring themselves back into this matchup and even out our series 1-1. But both of these teams coming up with a lot of great stuff, and we're going to be headed next to Route 66. So excited to see maybe some double shield here, possibly as well as some double bubble, or even a ball comp. Lots of different options for this map.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of the long sight lines and kind of the last minute holds and everything going on through this map as well. I mean, look, it's anybody's game at this point, right? Like, so we got a lot of information from this last match, but not enough to say like one team's dominating over the other. It's just more of like, you know, who gets the last couple picks. And again, it just speaks to, again, the familiarity, kind of the camaraderie of these two teams, which is always nice to see, right? Like, sometimes you want to see kind of the competition, even if it's not serious, right? Or if it is serious, you know, just like we want to kind of see what these teams can do. So we're going to drop into Route 66, ladies and gentlemen. It's looking like Kaiju Corp TMC is up 1-0 against Tinker. And if, like I said, if I know Tengu, if anything, he will recover his team. But wait a minute, actually, Tengu got swapped out
in the lineup.
He got swapped out for Busy on DPS. Okay,
interesting. We've got Busy Beans, and it looks like Kaiju Tanker wants to run out with the double shield, double sniper look. This is going to be tough to run into the dive, though. I think Spooty going to have a field day with this Widow that Busy Beans is playing.
I mean, but if the Widow can shoot, you know, that's just kind of like my working theory.
Yeah, that's true. We will have to wait and see how that goes. Coming in for a jump shot here. Can he find a head? No, isn't quite able to. But turret is removed now, so that stationary 7th member of the team gone for the moment. Zaf picked out by Semi-Rage. A huge pick from that Zen. That Zenyatta could be so dangerous with those orbs of destruction. Busy Beans dropped down from the high ground once again, unable to really stay up there at the moment. Semi-Rage finds Spooty as well. This Zenyatta just can't be stopped.
I mean, Semi-Rage is kind of playing the role for Tango here in the support here, just using the Zenyatta to snipe heads. I mean, Jonak, whatever we want to call for the, you know, the kind of the clutch Zenyatta plays. But here we go again. So now it's going to be, this cart has been moving forward in a blistering pace here. We're almost at the first point here, and no one seems to be able to contest.
No, they certainly don't. This bunker composition, this double shield that they have going, just a little too much for them to handle, but Busy Beans finally removed from the fight. Spooty, though, able to get that pick, but falls right after it, and this cart is less than 5 meters away now from capping first point. Tanker looking very good, looking like they're primed to do it, especially after this Gravitic Flux from Io.
Yeah, Gravitic Flex is going to get the one with the ultimate, but they're going to get 2 more kills right behind it. And now this card has just pushed to the point here, and Tanker's looking extremely good. 4 minutes and 53 on the clock here, and it's just not looking nonstop for Kaiju Tanker.
Yeah, it is. Something has to change, I think, for TMC. I'm not sure if this dive composition is really working. They haven't been able to find the value that they need to. They haven't been able to get the picks. And Semi-Rage has just been free to rage down upon everybody else. And, yeah, that was close. I almost got picked off.
Yeah, Spooty was just like standing there, and a little bit of trigger discipline, if you want to call it that, let the other enemy team walk by. But that, I was going to say, I thought I saw Gravitic Surge come out just again, but not too much. It looks like Danny and Semi-Rage are just going to combine for 2 more kills and just keeping members of TMC at bay. It was looking close in that first map now, but it's looking like Tanker is more on the dominant side of this map coming into this point 2 in Road 66.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Although both teams did look very strong on attack and were kind of lacking on defense on the control points. So this could just be another symptom of that. But I've got to agree that, you know, the cards right now are showing a very, very strong Tanker.
Yeah, for sure. So we've got 3 minutes and 50 on the clock, and it looks like the TMC is going to reset here. And if I don't know if they're going to recontest here. I mean, they can recontest, but if they don't, it's going to be point 2 and another minute and a half on the clock for them. And of course, you're going to be met with the dragon right in your face here to try to recontest as well. And it's looking like just like don't come. But nope, they're going to recontest anyway, even with lower members at this next fight.
Yeah, they are. But this Orisa of Junsu is just bunkered up and ready to go. The Nano Boost committed to Felix Felicis. They dropped the self-destruct. Are they going to be able to find anybody? No, they're not. In fact, they're removed from the fight, and that's going to be second point captured in a blistering 444.
I don't think I've seen a time this huge on Route 66 in my professional career. And so here we go again. Tinkers is just blistering forward as you mentioned, and they're going to commit the window to this as well. They're trying to go for Busy Beans, but it's like he can see everybody. He can see I can find you. I can see you. And Io and Renek are going to both have the ultimates in his next fight as well. And Kaiju Corp TMC has got nothing in the bank. They're just going to have to take this dry fight and see if they can get some value off of it. But it's looking like a stalemate right now, but not for long.
Yeah, that stalemate is going to favor TMC because they definitely want to try and get some ultimates online here. Spooty forced to use that Fortify to stay alive right here. Here comes the Supercharger as well from Junsu, and with so much extra damage coming in, I don't know what TMC is going to do.
I was thinking that I was going to look for that gravitic flux, but not too long. It's just, why do that when you can just take members down one by one? And so Kaiju Corp Tanker, I mean, there's only 2 members up from TMC, and they the panel is coming to the point, right, guys? Come on, TMC, let's go. All right, here we go. Again, they get met with the dragon at the door yet again. They barely got a lot. TMC is still trying to, and now here comes that gravitic flux. It gets 2 members of TMC. It takes them down right away, and the numbers are dwindling down for TMC. It's just looking like an inevitability for this card to get to this last point here. They're going to have to clear off this last Spooty as the Arista trying to there was also another switch to try to get to stall out as well, but stall's not going to be for long. And now Kaiju Corp Tanker is going to finish this out.
Yeah, and with 3:13 on the clock, that is a tall ask for TMC. And I feel like looking back at that last fight, the fact that TMC decided to swap their composition so much at that last moment really played into the favor of Tanker. There weren't any ultimates online to really help them do any work. So it's not surprising that TMC just crumbled there at the last, and they're going to have to try and come up with I don't know if they want to do the same strategy or if they want to try something else, because Tanker looks like they've got their number right now.
I mean, it looks like so juggle. I mean, I'm not sure what, if anything, we don't want to count out the underdogs whatsoever, but I don't know what else to change here. And you're definitely on the attack now, which is, if you didn't have a strategy for defense, like what are you going to do in the offense, right? It's just like, this is not looking too good. But we're going to see what TMC can do in their attack here. They got, this is potentially, well, I'm going to say not potentially be their last map here, because like it would just be tied up from Tanker, but it could be a quick win for Tanker if they can pull this off.
Yeah, that's a very good point. If they get a strong hold here, then we could be going to a map 3 very quickly. And like you said, Tanker's backs are up against the wall. They can't take another L, or else this is game over for them. Jexus on the high ground temporarily, throwing in a little bit of damage. Now Felix Felicis launches in a rock, doesn't find anybody. Busy Beans up on top of that high ground, looking for another head to click, but hasn't been able to find anybody just yet. Cart making a lot of progress as well. They've already pushed it to the corner of the gas station, but now Tanker is dropped.
Yeah, here we go. So now they're going to drop in, and on top of the high ground here, it's not looking too good just yet, but at the very least, Lect is on the Hanzo trying to see if they can get some value on top of it as well. I mean, the cart is just kind of stuck here right in front of this gas station, and not a lot of action so far, but I'm sure blows are being exchanged and percentage for ultimates is being climbed. Oh, wait, here we go. It looks like Zaph is going to go on the flank here and try to take down the Widow.
Oh my God!
There it goes at the last second.
What a shot! What a headshot right there.
I mean, that was worth it. That was totally worth it.
Yeah. Danny gets the tack visor as well, but yeah, I'm still reeling from that headshot. That was just fantastic. The tack visor does seem to do a lot of good work, especially with that amplification matrix as well. Spooty trying to get this cart moving again. And now Jutsu forced to move away, but just to drop that supercharger. So now TMC on the back foot. They need to stay away from all this damage. Currymaker pops the Transcendence to allow them to move forward and hopefully take out that supercharger, which is exactly what they did. 2:20 on the clock, and TMC looks like they may have the answer. That is until Semi-Rage gets another pick on the Currymaker.
Oh no, and so the kills are still coming in from Tanker as well. So we've got another reset coming in from TMC. They're just short of point alpha here, and it was looking pretty good for them. But now, if Tanker can hold them here, this is gonna be another map for us right now. But the reset is coming in though, and they're just like why is TMC playing all the way back here? They're just afraid to move forward here?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if they were expecting more damage to come in. They did have Zaph out there scouting. Oh, they're going underneath. That's why. All right. Supercharger popped now from Spooty. He tries to get some people off the high ground. He's able to catch Io out, but Io pops the Gravitic Flux as well. Doesn't catch anybody. And oh, here comes a big Dragon Strike. It goes right through the Immortality Field. Bob committed as well, but through it all, TMC just losing members left and right. Saf going down to 5 health. They are able to get a pick, but it's going to be too little too late for this fight.
Yeah, I want to question some of the ultimate uses here from TMC. Like the fight was already lost when they lost down 3 members and not even using any ultimates from the side of Tanker. And they decided to commit 3 ultimates to the fight and not a lot of value off of it. It's still 1 minute and 4 on the clock here. I mean, if they kept on to the Bob or to the Supercharger, they might have had a chance in this last fight. But it's not looking too good for TMC. They got one last push here. It looks like otherwise this is going to be it for TMC.
Ooh, but they have started it off well with a headshot onto Semi-Rage. So Lect looking to give his team an opportunity to come back in this map. Amplification Matrix committed by Jexus as well. It's going to force a lot of people off the high ground, and Busy Beans isn't quite fast enough to escape. Gravitic Flux layered in, but it doesn't find anybody this time around. Now the cart back under control of TMC, but here comes another Amplification Matrix with a attack visor through it as well. There's nobody that's going to peek that and survive, which Currymaker found out the hard way.
Yeah, it's just like it takes the shot to the dome, and Danny on the tech visor gets 2 more kills, and it's like, well, but over here for TMC, they're gonna have to they're gonna have to reset and try again into map 3. We've got 10 seconds left in the clock. There are still members on here, but they're going down one by one, and now the Bob gets committed from Busy Beans as well, and just a shot in the tracking from Busy Beans. That is about it. I think no one else is here. The Transcendence's pop is a last-minute desperation effort, but it's not going to be for long, and overtime is still ticking away, and it looks like it's just going to be it. They're going to try. Nope. Tracer's going to try to contest, but they do not make it in time, and now we're going into a third map juggle.
Yeah, can't wait. I am excited for this. Gotta love seeing these series go the distance right here. And I'm sure these teams are loving this game right now. And Io coming in big with the play of the game all the way from China. So excited to see this play right here. Oh, yeah, right here at the end. They got so much value off of that. Able to take out everybody from Tanker. Or from TMC rather. So excellent play from them.
I mean, like ping diff, ladies and gentlemen, right? Who says you can't play with bad ping, right? So
yeah, exactly. APAC region's been doing it all over the place since recently. So you know what? Like, I'm not gonna complain if they can do it.
Yeah, so can we, right? What excuses do we have? So here's the drill, man. We're going to take a quick break real quick for this. Since we got into this next map, we know what our third map is going to be. We're going to give teams a couple of minutes to rest up, and we'll see what we're going to do in their attack. We're coming right back. See, I'm messing this up, man. This color thing's already gotten me messed up. We'll be right back after a couple of minutes.
Talk over the radio. Think fast, but we're moving slow. It's what we know. If you're coming over, I just wanna be real with somebody. Somebody like me. If I tell you how I'm feeling, would you say that you want me? That you want me? 'Cause I'm so sick of all the noise, all the back and forth. Just wanna find a still place where I could go. I lose myself, I cannot help it, I'm emotional. Oh, if you feel like this, would you let me know? Would you let me know? Please let me know. Would you let me know? Oh, if you feel like this, would you let me know? Would you let me know? White noise on the telephone. Fall asleep to TV shows. It's what we know. Gets too comfortable. No space for the tangible. We get lost in the virtual. Are you less alone when you're logging on? If you're coming over, I just wanna be real with somebody. Somebody like me. If I tell you how I'm feeling, would you say that you want me? That you want me? 'Cause I'm so sick of all the noise, all the back and forth. Just wanna find a still place where I could go. I lose myself, I cannot help it, I'm emotional. Oh, if you feel like this, would you let me know? Would you let me know? Please let me know. Would you let me know? Oh, if you feel like this, would you let me know? Would you let me know?
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kaiju Corp Monster Battle. Oh, see, I'm messing this up often. I can do that. The reason why I messed it up, though, is that I want to talk about this 4D chess that's going on right now in this whole matchup going on. So now, Tinker had Tengu on DPS. We normally play support. Currymaker was on support and he normally plays DPS. So now in this final match, right now we don't have our China player anymore. The play of the game IO is out now, and Tanker is back in, and now he's playing on support for Tanker. And then TMC's Currymaker switched over to the DPS support. So now I don't think we've been trolled, but I definitely think it was kind of like a little bit of an experimental kind of 40 chess going on right now. And I think Tanker, this is the setup, this is the configuration, the tank configuration to finish this out. So I'm excited to see what's going to come on here, because I think now, as like I don't want to argue about collusion or anything and stuff, because again we're playing for charity, we're trying to help people out, but it's still kind of funny, like kind of seeing kind of the setup as it goes on, and just like seeing Tango getting back to the role that we know him to be playing on. So like how you feeling, Jug? I'm sorry I took up all the airspace, but
No,
but I had to talk about it.
You were so excited to talk about this. I was happy to let you go for a minute or two, because that's very, very interesting. And to me it sounds like the gloves are coming off now, right? Both teams are getting serious. They're like, nope, we want this win. We're going back to our main roles. We're not messing around anymore. And we're going to get serious here on Numbani next. So I expect to see a lot of dive coming out here. A lot of Winston, maybe even some Wrecking Ball. I haven't seen any of him yet today. And that does make my heart a little bit sad. Wrecking Ball main here myself. So I would love to see that hamster get a little playtime today.
Yeah, we'll see if some actual Metacops comes out on this map, or we're gonna get some more Torbjorn exhibitions here as time goes on. But either way, it is down to the wire, ladies and gentlemen. As you mentioned, like it's 1-1. It's Tanker looking to keep the gloves off here and actually play seriously and take this out and put this up 1-1 actually in a kind of our meta game here between Fruit Tank and the clown coverage or whatever we're going to call it. Like it's benefiting both charities. Like we're still playing for charity here, ladies and gentlemen, for Women Who Code and for Girls Who Code and Women in Gaming International. I am so sorry about that, but the exclamation point donate is in the chat, ready and willing to go. We're going to see what's going to happen in this last map here. Whoever wins, everybody benefits. So we're going to see how this is going to go.
Absolutely, I like that. I like that take on it. You know, everybody wins here. Even
Yes.
you know, even whoever comes in second here in this matchup, still going to be a winner because at the end of the day, we're donating to such great causes, and you gotta love to see it. Dive composition coming out from both sides, just like I had expected. Lek throwing in some damage from above with the far eye rockets, but unable to find any picks at the moment. Really just trying to build barrage at this point. But he's got his eyes set on Zaf now. But it's the story is happening in the meantime. Farther back on point, Currymaker removed from the fight. Jexus goes down low as well. And Kaiju Corp Tanker going to be able to push hard onto this point and hopefully get a few more picks. And one comes in for Spooty, Felix Felicis as well as D-Mech. So now Tanker able to capture this point with impunity as soon as they finish off Spooty here.
Yeah, as soon as they get this last, the monkey was sleeping a little bit on top of this point earlier, but they're going to clear this off, and it looks like Kaiju Corp Tanker will capture and move into our street space here. And also, yeah, I mean, like Kaiju Corp Tanker, even though the previous two maps were kind of slow to start off with, now it looks like Tanker's pushing the gas pedal and pushing this forward here and just going for the jugular here. And now it's 5 minutes 25 on the clock just to get to the street space.
Yeah, exactly. Street phase is not a phase that typically takes very long for attacking teams, so I expect to see a healthy time bank going into third for Tanker, unless TMC can come up with some kind of an answer, and it might be on the back of this barrage that Lek is about to proc, but Spooty goes down early in the fight.
Yes, they do. And now Semi-Rage is going to lead the team to the front line. I think Semi-Rage has also switched there. Yeah, they switched from support to tank now. Oh my goodness, I just noticed that. And so anyway, Tanker is going to have a definite advantage. They're going to fling the Diva Bomb into this point here. Not going to get any members of TMC, but they definitely gets the point across as they scatter, and this cart is still moving forward, Juggle.
Yeah, it is. It hasn't hardly stopped yet. Now a Nano is committed onto Spooty from Zaf. They're going to try and push forward. Anti-Nade also hits, but there's a sound barrier expertly placed by Rannoch. But it's the Barrage and Felix Felicis who are going to find the value for TMC.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Lex and Phoenix Felice is going to combine for 2 killer kills. And it's still, the cart is just stopped right around this first corner here, but not for long. It looks like TMC is putting up a fight, and they're going to, this time, instead of like wasting their ultimates into random 2v5 fights, they're going to hold on to it and see if they can get this first kill. And then here comes that sleeping Diva right on top. You hate to see it staggered all the way out. And now it looks like the full reset comes in from Tanker.
Yeah, she was sleeping so peacefully on the cart. Why would you wake her so rudely like that? No, both teams now going to vie for control of the cart again. Lek out of the fight early. Tengu living up to his reputation, getting a pick early. EMP comes in, catches 4 on TMC. And with Lek out of the fight already, this is going very, very poorly for them. But Felix Felice is able to kick out Busy Beans, who was on that somewhere. Now Danny coming in huge with attack visor from the off angle to finish capping the second point.
I mean, the Primal Rage has been popped from Spooty as well, but it's not looking as be a lot of value. He's just going to get taken down right away. I mean, you hate to see that as well. There's no value from the Primal Rage whatsoever. Taker has now completed point alpha, and now they're going to barrel into the second point here. And Juggle, normally it takes a while for teams to finish this last point here, but if Taker's keep playing just this well, I mean, it's going to be a quick cap for them and a very huge time bank going into this next phase.
Yeah, it sure will be, but right now, the composition that they're running up against is going to make it a lot harder for them. Spooty has swapped over to this Reinhardt, so I'm not sure if there's going to be anything they can do yet. Here comes the self-destruct. It doesn't catch anybody out, but Spooty finds Tanker, so without those made heals now, Tanker looking a lot worse for the wear. Spooty, though, going down very low. They are going to charge this Diva off the point. And, the spawn advantage does favor him, but he doesn't have the boosters that, Semi-Rage does.
I mean, if you're going to go down, don't go down without a fight, right? And like the nanoed Reinhardt was in their face, and it was better for them to take somebody with them as he just charges off the side. I mean, it's definitely worth the battle here, but either way, it's looking, like the car is kind of stalled again. And again, I was thinking like this is going to be difficult for teams to complete. And TMC is looking to just stand up a little bit stronger here, but there is somebody pushing this card just a little bit, but TMC is on the high ground looking for advantages here.
Yeah, that they are. They're going to try and push away this aggression from Tanker. Tanker wanted to try and come across the high ground as well, but they go down very, very low. They're going to continue the aggression as well, TMC is, and try to finish this off. But Junsu is actually able to find Lect. Counter pick comes in, though, onto Semi-Rage. Shatter layered in, catches a couple of members, and now the nano boost onto Junsu as well is going to make it so difficult for TMC to keep their lives, and that is not what they do.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, like the value again came in from Tanker, just 2 ultimates, 1 nano boost, and here they are, like 3 members on top of this cart, 3 minutes on the clock, and it's looking all but over for Tanker here. They just have to keep pushing this forward here, and TMC is going to have to find an answer pretty shortly if they want to contest this and just waste some time. It almost seems inevitable.
Yeah, it does at this point, but there's still hope for them as the EMP comes in and catches out 3 members of TMC. So
the Shatter
on the back foot again, and the Shatter doesn't get a tremendous amount of value. Unfortunately, Junsu does get stunned by that Brig and goes down despite the sound barrier layered in. TMC able to hold on to this defense.
I mean, there was a little bit of desperation coming in because, like, the nano went onto the Brigitte. I mean, I haven't seen that in a very, very long time here. But whatever they were trying to do, it did work because TMC is pushing Tanker back. And again, it was almost looking like they were going to cap very easily with a lot of time in the bank, but not for long here. So 2 minutes in the clock here, and like I said, TMC just like is standing strong so far, but Tanker needs to reset and try again. They get anti again.
Yeah, that was a big anti-catches for members, so excellent play there, Zaf. Currymaker almost has this tack visor online again, and that's been the difference maker in so many of these fights. Semi-Rage goes down low. They're D-mech. They use the self-destruct, though, to try and get back in, and already Danny with this tack visor, again, just finding tremendous value. Tanker are going to get this cart moving, and they're going to get it very close to completion. Yeah. Someone from TMC is going to have to touch.
I mean, Danny plus tack visor equals danger, ladies and gentlemen. Gets the 2 kills on top of it. And this card is just 2 minutes and 2.86 meters close to this point here, and it's looking all but desperation time for TMC. All they're looking to do right now is just to waste time off of that clock and get a better chance in their attack phase. But maybe not, because Spooty might come up with a couple of kills. There are more members of TMC on top of this card than there are for Tinker right now. Wait a minute. And now the Bastion comes out as well for a little bit of value, and Tinker has to reset again. Just as we think it's dooming for TMC, they come up with the clutch plays to push Tanker back.
Yeah, you know, Tanker, they're doing a good job of getting picks, but they're also getting counter-picked, and every time that happens, the advantage goes firmly in TMC's favor. That was really, I think, the entire story of that fight, is that Tanker just did not get the picks as fast as they needed to capitalize on it, and counter picks came in from TNC. But looking into this next fight, this Shatter and Diva Bomb could be difference makers.
Oh man, the anti comes out, but the Diva Bomb gets no value off of it. And once again, Danny and the rest of their team comes up for the now. They're just making it personal on the Bastion as well, getting them out of position. Is not looking too good though. And yes, they do capture. Ooh. Now, I will say TMC did a good job. They were facing down a 3.5 minute time bank initially in this first fight, but they got it down all the way to 30 seconds. And so all they're looking for is an opportunity. That's all they're looking for at this point. They did their jobs and cut down the time bank from Tanker. So now it's looking like TMC, if they can complete the map, and you know, and again, the signs of life are starting to come up here. Again, as you mentioned, kind of like taking the gloves off, being seriously here. It looks like TMC is getting the message here as well, as they did a lot better in this map instead of map 2, where they were getting dominated by Tanker.
Yeah, exactly. They really have kind of figured out what they wanted to do here, and you know, it was interesting. Whenever you see a control point win, right? It's not that great of a barometer for the rest of the series,
no,
and so. You know, seeing TMC come out with that early win, yeah, it kind of hints that maybe they're the stronger team. But right now, Tanker really looking like they may be the ones to take home this win.
Yeah, for sure. So here we go. Corp TMC is on the attack, and listen, like the time bank that they have for Tanker is achievable. All they're looking to do is to capture with a better time bank and see if they can get a better push as well. We might go into extra innings here, ladies and gentlemen, but it all starts here and now. As TMC was going to go do their attack.
Yeah, the attack starts off with Winston jumping in, Spooty trying to do as much damage as they can to start to build up that Primal Rage. Zaf already at almost 40% of a nano boost as well. And that combination is what they are looking for right now. But Spooty taken out by Danny with a expertly placed headshot right there. And the rest of TMC just going to back off for the time being.
I mean, and heck, even Tengu is participating in the kill feed, ladies and gentlemen. He gets one kill with that Zenyatta, and again, just coming, like Tengu is coming online, and we've got our first stop here, a couple more, and it's looking like TMC is going to be in a little bit of danger here, but Lect is going to just try to be a hero with the Hanzo here. Now, I'm wondering if they're going to switch over to something else to be more divey instead of like the Hanzo, but either way, there's still a fight going to be breaking out on the high ground here for TMC.
Yeah, Spooty goes down perilously low, but they are expertly healed up by their team. Zaf now has this nano boost ready. They're probably going to commit it to Spooty, and they're going to dive this high ground right now. Felix Felice is right on the tail of them. They're going to try and take out this Mercy and this Pharah now. Can they do it? No, they're just not quite able to. They were able to hide away from the damage just enough, and now Spooty is going to lose their life on point despite getting that nano boost. Lect falls as well, with Danny's tac visor just doing the lion's share of the work.
Oh my goodness! It's just like it's almost like they pull one thread and it goes all the way away, and they put the nano onto the Spooty as kind of like the favorite target for the nano, but it puts a target right in their back and gets taken down right away. And Danny once again the attack visor just gets all the value in the world. So now this fight is just we're a little bit of desperation. We started out for 4 minutes and we lost 2 fights now. So now we're 2 minutes and 3 on the clock here, and it's looking like Tinker is on their way to a full hold and a match win for Girls Who Code if they can just pull this out.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one person I have to compliment on TMC is Zaf. Zaf has hit several big sleeps. Nothing that his team could capitalize on, but regardless, if those kind of sleeps keep happening with some good team coordination, they could easily take this point. Here comes the Tranquility off of the dive coming in from TMC. Tango pops it to keep his team alive. Semi-Rage is able to re-mech after going down low. But Danny removed from the fight. There's a counter pick, though, as Jexus is removed. But now Zaf not finding the value that they need to either. Spooty has popped the Primal Rage. They're able to take Tengu out of the fight, but that might be just about all that they're going to be able to get done here.
And Felix Felicis is going to get staggered out, and Spooty is just there for target practice here. So here we go, and Felix is just going to jump off the side, and there they go, so they don't get staggered out too far yet. And Semi-Rage waves goodbye, and now we are in desperation territory. Here is the last send for TMC, and they're going to have a couple ultimates coming into this next fight, but not by much. They only have the Diva Bomb and the attack visor for Curry Maker, but only if he stays alive. I mean, he's almost got taken down early on, but 50 seconds on the clock here. They're going to try this one last stand on the high ground, and Tinker is looking good to close this out in a full hold on the bunny.
That they are, and now the fight starts out. Spooty jumps in from the high ground. Sorry, take that back. It was Junsu. And Junsu pops the Primal Rage to try and get some value. Lek finds an early pick, though. And now Junsu trying to keep the rest of the members of TMC away. He's able to finish off Spooty with that Primal Rage, and now he's almost able to take out Zap, but Zap is able to return the favor and take them out of the fight instead. And now Currymaker is on the prowl with this soldier, but it's not going to be enough as Busy Beans finds a body shot to take them out of the fight. One tick on the board now for TMC with just 10 seconds left to go. Self-destruct committed on the point, but Danny has the tac visor as well. They're going to be able to push away Spooty now from the high ground. Spooty falls, and now there's just one member left on point. With this tac visor going, though, it's just a free-range shooting gallery for Danny. And with overtime ticking over, that might be all they want for TMC. And that is going to do it. Kaiju Corp Tanker comes up with a win.
Wow. Like just they were just toying with their food almost at a certain point. Kaiju Corp Tanker is going to pull this out 2-1, and of course Danny's a player game. He has to be.
Yeah.
He has to be. At
yeah,
this
seriously.
Point. Just all match long, just all 3 maps. So that tag visor again, danger, and everything else getting in place in here. So congratulations to Tanker for pulling this out and winning 1-1 now. So now we're tied 1-1 going into our final match, ladies and gentlemen. So we don't know who's gonna win here. Actually this last match is gonna matter. We would have played it regardless, but now there's actually higher stakes here for these next 2 teams.
Yeah, exactly. There really are. So that's going to be exciting to see. Can't wait to see that match up as well. But that is going to do it for me for this broadcast. I'm going to be saying goodbye now, but it has been such a pleasure getting to cast with you, Will English. Absolutely pleasure. Known you for a little while now, but I hadn't had a chance to do this, and happy that we got it.
Absolutely. I love these little opportunities. This was always why I jump on, because you can experiment a little bit, right? You can try different things. Like this is not serious. This is not like an invitational where like things are on the line and people want to take this seriously. So we get to have a little bit of fun on a Saturday afternoon. So thank you for coming in, Clutch. much. I really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It's always grateful when people can come in and, like I said, welcome to the family. You're always welcome to come back on the cast anytime soon. So, any final thoughts?
Thank you so much. No, just both teams played an excellent game today. They really came out. They really brought their all. Love to see the swaps coming in and all the different players coming. So thank you so much for giving me an entertaining game to watch. And congratulations to the winners. And the real winners are honestly the Girls Who Code and Women in Gaming. So congratulations to them as well. And looking forward to seeing the next match.
All right, cool. Well, listen, we will see you. I'm sure we will see you soon. Hopefully, in less than a month or so, until one of our other events are coming in. Like I said, you're always welcome, and thank you so much for coming in on a clutch day on a Saturday. Absolutely. So we will go to a quick break. We're going into match 3, ladies and gentlemen. Match 3, where the rubber meets the road. It's all the marbles are all on the line here to see who's going to benefit the most out of both teams, or out of both charities, I should say, for Women in Coding and Gaming. And also, just as a final note, the link has been fixed in chat. Please use _point donate in the chat to get access to how you can donate to both charities for Women in Gaming and Girls Who Code. They're excellent charities for the work we're playing for today, and that's what we're here and we're doing this about. And thank you all for chat for sticking with us through all this afternoon. We'll be right back at our last match of the league.
And then we fall. Can the tides calling through it all? Titans watching, waiting. Once rivals, now we sit patient at the end of the world. Where will we be? Immortality is the empire.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kaiju Corp Monster Mash charity event. My name is Williams IV, and I'm joined by our final caster of the evening, Mona from MonaCast. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Excited to be here. I've been catching up these couple of games today. It's always exciting to see these like small in-house Kaiju Corp tournaments that always go towards a great cause. And I mean, the games have been exciting too. So it really has just been a great show.
So we haven't really talked about the format of today's tournament. So both of these teams are playing for each side, and so JJ is playing for Women in Games International, and Kaiju Corp King Caesar is playing for Girls Who Code. The problem is that both teams that have been playing for the meta teams, which is Clown Garden and Fruit Tank, they both are up 1-0. But the way this is going to work is we're going to play all three maps. I think we're going to play all three maps regardless. But here's the drill. If Kaiju Corp JJ wins 2-0, they win it all. If King Caesar goes 2-0, they win it all. But if JJ goes 2-1, that means we're going to be tied in records for this entire afternoon, and that means we'll have to play one more tiebreaker map towards the end. So I'm not sure what the rules are going to be, but it's a little bit pressure's riding in on JJ and King Caesar in this matchup here. But hopefully they can close it out quickly. But these matches have been close, Mona.
Yeah, they really have been. I mean, like you saw in the last map, the 2-1, even though Numbani wasn't the tightest of maps, encapsulated a really close series altogether. And I mean, it seems like every player was like, they're trying to win the money for their cause, right? They really want to get in. Like, get money is something they believe in.
So as we enter our last match, ladies and gentlemen, again, exclamation point donate in the chat, ladies and gentlemen, to donate to these wonderful organizations. And again, the majority of the money will go to one of these two teams, but again, 100% of the proceeds for this tournament will go to both organizations. It just depends on who wants it more and who's going to get the higher percentage.
Yeah, Ilios, I mean, Ilios has always just been a fun map. It seems like no matter what the meta is, Ilios itself has its own thing, right? Like you're playing Ash and Widowmaker almost always. You might be seeing a lot of like it almost, and it seems like outside of that like long range hit scan, you can kind of see a mix either between a horror brawly composition with like a Reinhardt Winston, or sometimes they're just like really aggressive dive with the Wrecking Ball or Tracer, and not like touch and go on the point. And it's almost impossible like to get points off them when they're playing something like such a mobile comp, constantly being able to touch and let go of the point. Like I think this is Ilios, like especially when we get onto Ruins, it's going to be one of those where it's like 99% in overtime galore. Yeah, I know. It's just they really have just been so close. I mean, the clock's ticking down, especially now we get to end up with these two exciting Kaiju Corp teams, right? Like the ones that have got so many like big names right now. You got Waya, Biggs, Hida, Lect. Like these are all players we've seen play so many times, and just being able to watch them again for this final bout is going to be exciting. Yeah, so both teams coming in with the Winston. Afro beats Hida in that Tracer duel, which is going to be really helpful on the team as Lect tries to get as much poke damage, but he strays a little too far from the house, leaves himself open, and Soldier 76, if only I could read those characters, I could tell you who it was that gets the kill. But Nathan. Oh. Nathan. Thank you for the translation, Will. And, Nathan helps his team. He kept point for Kaiju Corp King Caesar. Sorry. And again, this is a bit of a heavy brawl composition here. Spooty is trying to put as much pressure as possible. They can't really get in there, especially with Hida getting Afro again. And now Spooty again, he's going to struggle to get out of that point there. He'll probably fall in general. Afro, he does get rezzed up by Tentacles, though. And this puts them back in a 6v6 situation. And King Caesar, they try to clean up, but they weren't able to. And then, but again, Nathan finally, he's trying to find more players on the side of JJ. But he falls to Zaf in the meantime. The trails are coming out either way, but the point's still for King Caesar, as again, it's just such lockdown. It's so hard to do when they're bringing on, all right? They can pocket everything, hold down a point with this brawly composition, and they're still able to do it, right? Because it's JJ. They're trying to get on their point. They need to get there as much as possible to get those touches. But they were able to lock it down so much with the break, especially. And it looks like Zaf left the game, so probably going to be pause in a second here.
Yeah. There we go.
Not sure if he DC'd mid-fight or right at the end of it or what happened there. But, I mean, King Caesar here, they're kind of in the lead a little bit, especially when you look at those ult charges too. It's not looking good for JJ.
I mean, not at all. So We'll just come back here for a little bit, but yeah, sorry, like a little bit of audio issues, but like again, this is a casual Saturday, so yeah. But I mean, it looking just a little bit, yeah. It's not looking good for JJ right now. I mean, it looking like King Caesar, the former Chicago's Forge team, right? That just get repatriated back into Kaiju Corp as of recent. It's looking good so far. Kind of with Nathan and Insane Waya. We're looking for the monkey for Insane Waya as well. They kind of to play stuff out. So
yeah, the monkey's been really strong. No over aggression. It's what you see from Waya all the time, right? Like it's very casual form of Winston where he's never too over aggressive, but he's always putting in pressure in the right spots. Doesn't feed at all. He's constantly putting in the pressure that's required. And Zaf gets in here, and I mean, I'm looking at this all charge. It's going to be so hard for JJ to make any sort of impact here, especially when you look at Aster, but the Brig Ultimate rally, like how unless Lecht can find an absolute value off the barrage, it's going to be a real struggle for JJ.
Yeah, for sure. So here we go again. The fight's going to break out on top of this point. Now, oh, man, the record barrage from Lecht is going to get 3. And just as we were seeing, it wasn't looking too good for JJ. It looks like now they're just picking up the fight back into this fight.
Yeah, King Caesar, they just weren't ready for the grab. They should have known it was coming. They just split up a little bit, but they got grabbed there, and it was a great reaction from Lecht. He came right away with the barrage, took out 3. And that's going to give JJ the lead here. And, they've still got Ultimate's still looking in King Caesar's favor, but they've got the position now. They've got the high ground, and it's going to be so hard to get Lecht out of the air. He's going to be able to pump out so much damage as King Caesar try to get onto this point. It's going to be really hard for them.
Yeah, so, oh man, here comes the Diva Bomb. I'm going to try to recontest here. He gets Spooty out of the middle of the other, just mid-air. An attack vice is going to come out from Nathan as well. They're going to get to one more down, and now it seems like King Caesar is just going to just collapse on top of this point. They're just getting pick after pick after pick. Oh, but wait a minute, though. It looks like it was a trade coming out, but no, it's still looking good for King Caesar, even though they don't have the numbers here. And now the point is just going to flip back. It's 88%, and I'm not sure if anybody from JJ is going to contest this one.
Yeah, especially with Spooty getting caught out right there. And I mean, King Caesar, this is where Wise at his best. He's playing so long. He's so smart. He knows that they need to come and contest there, so he's getting off these picks as fast as possible. And JJ, it's going to be game over. And first round's going to King Caesar.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna get a nano graviton surge. Wait a minute, no. It was starting to look a little bit close, but wait, no. The primal rage. It just seems like these last minute contestants, like, okay, it's over now. Okay, now is it over? No, Lucio just almost touched it, gets smacked in the face by Insane Waya, and that is going to be 1 point up for King Caesar. But man, yeah, you'd love to see Insane Waya on the Winston. He is a specialist on that character. If he's got that primal raise, he's going for heads, he's going for value, and Insane Waya is really, really good. Although, I do have to say, there is a little bit of a curse apparently that I have, that if I cast his game, that's when they lose. So I don't want to give King Caesar the GBs here, but, they're doing good so far to get this first control point. Now we're going over to the well.
Yeah, I mean, if they keep up playing like that, the curse is bound to be broken, right? He and Biggs have just been just so solid, right? And they always are whenever they play together. There's it's pretty good chemistry. They're always catching each other. Biggs is also just incredible on the Diva. He's making sure his support line's intact. He knows that not the most aggressive Winston, when he does go in, he's always there with them. And now it's going to be important as they're playing pretty similar comps this time, but Afro on the Echo, which on this map can be really strong, right? There's a lot of ways to get spam damage, put a lot of pressure on there, but Nathan's on the McCree, and that could be a bit of a counter to him.
Yeah, so here we go. I mean, we're going to break right into this fight right on the other side of the well. I mean, just exchanging electric cannons back and forth, or Tesla cannons, I should say, back and forth here, but not a lot of action. But yeah, no, Lex is going to get the initial pick onto Hida. I mean, man, like he's kind of a star player for their team. Oh, and then Spooty is going to come in as well. He comes on top of the Winston v Winston fight, and the kills are starting to come in on for JJ, and they're going to capture this first point, and they're going to chase the rest of these kills down. Now back to spawn. Oh my goodness, that was almost personal on the Ana from Galileo. He gets 2 more down.
Yeah, it's the reverse from the last map where Hito was the one who got the early pick on Elect, and that was able to, put the point originally into King Caesar's favor. Excuse me. And now Elect returns a favor, gets his pulse bomb now too. If he can find something, he's waiting for it right now. They're all King Caesar's all grouped up in that building. That can't be good, and that's a nice stick.
Ooh, yeah, that's just a stick to the face from Lex. It takes down Nathan on the McCree. Now the fights can still break out on the other side. I mean, the ultimate edge does favor King Caesar, but only if they can get to the point and get some value off of it. I was gonna say it looks like the saying Wyatt got nano just to save his life here going into this last point. So he's got the Primal Rage online, but he's not going to use it yet. He's just kicking value. And there is the Primal Rage he's going to get now. He's going to start taking down the heads on the other side as well, but he has to be careful if he doesn't get knocked into the well himself. But he's still chasing down this Diva and not getting value off of it. The Diva Bomb does not come out. They gets the D-Mech as well. Nathan is going to get 2 more down, and now it's just more of the same, and they're going to flip the point back for King Caesar, and it's looking all but dominant here for King Caesar as they move forward.
Yeah, that was a great return from King Caesar. There was a big anti-nade by Mo on the Ana that really opened it up for a little bit. Let Wyatt get in there, and the dive opened up. You know, when you've got the Winston Diva Tracer, it's very explosive, right? It might not have the longevity of a Wrecking Ball-like dive composition, but it can get a lot of burst damage done at once. And if you get a nice enough purple in there, it's really going to open up the backline. We look at Kaiju Corp, JJ. Oh my God, Nathan.
Or Nathan could just shoot you in the face with that 6-shooter of himself. Okay, the high is going to break out from Nathan as well. Dead, I should say. And he's not going to get anything else as Kaiju JJ intelligently walks back. They're just looking like they're just going to back up and reset here, but I'm not sure why. They had the advantage here coming off, but it doesn't matter here. Like, Kaiju is just going to chase, and then the bait might be taken as well. Looks like the Primal Rage is going to break out from Spooty as well and see if they can get some value off of it, but just not in the face of Insane Wyatt. He is still standing strong for his team, and now we got a third monkey on the field as the duplicate comes out on the Winston as well from Afro, and I'm not sure he does get the Power Race to get popped off, but not for long here. It's still even on top of this point, and it's not looking good for JJ if they can just flip it back, or actually they will flip it back in the middle of this fight here. It's still just getting stuck somewhere, and there's still players left. And say Wyatt is not going to get a kill, along with Hida, and it's going to get 2 more down. The numbers do not favor JJ. They're going to get back up as well, so it's looking a little too late here. Percentage is still climbing for King Caesar, but they're going to have to reset here formally now, as they don't have the numbers to take contest here. But Insane Wyatt says, nope, I'm just going to fight you at the spawn as well. They're going to still keep still pushing. He's still pushing. And also the Deadeye comes out from Nathan as well to get 1. But again, this is just a scatter fight going on right now for back and forth here. But just seems to be individual and just fighting back at spawn for Kaiju King Caesar.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of ridiculous. They kept King Caesar. They knew that if they could start this fight as long as possible, they were going to be able to get the win because the percentage keeps climbing and JJ just cannot regroup. They're fighting with so little people. They haven't been able to contest or do anything for so long. And now, I mean, they keep going down in numbers, and they just can't get onto the point. As one by one they're falling, and it looks like King Caesar's about to take Ilios.
Yeah, we're in overtime right now, and the last members of Kaiju Corp JJ are just flinging themselves to the point to try to get some value off of it, but it's not looking too good. Overtime is going to take away, and that is going to be the first map into the well for Kaiju Corp's King Caesar.
Yeah, I mean, that was an incredible showing by King Caesar, right? Like, they seem to always know how to get on the aggressive and pressure JJ whenever they needed to. Like, JJ so many times, and that was in the last point too, where they tried to back out and try to regroup, but Wyatt breaks Hida. They were like in their faces, not letting them regroup and get a clean fight, especially when the time was kicking. It was, it was really well coordinated from the King Caesar.
All right, so that's the first map on the board. So again, if we're all keeping track here, ladies and gentlemen, now they just need 1 more, and they win the crew battle here. Going so that this we're looking for the clean sweep here from King Caesar to benefit Girls Who Code. I mean, that's personally who I'm rooting for. But again, both charities will win because again, 100% of the donations and the proceeds from this tournament will go to both organizations. It's just the higher percentage will go to the team who wins the crew battle. But it's looking like King Caesar's looking pretty good so far, looking up 1-0 in this matchup.
Yeah, King Caesar, it really is looking like they're gonna take it all. It seemed like I won't count JJ out of it just yet, right? Like they were able to show some moments, right? Like Lect won a couple of those duels against Hida, and they were able to find their own aggression when necessary. But just seemed like King Caesar were at no point did they ever switch off. They were always ready. They were always on. They were always willing to either back up or go forward at the perfect opportune moment.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, look, we again, the maps have already been set up here, so that they're pre-selected. So we're going into Watchpoint Gibraltar next, and if there's any map that I think would benefit Insane Waya to the extreme, it would be Watchpoint Gibraltar with the just like kind of the long sight lines and everything that you can use, and yeah, again, he's just the Winston specialist. I mean, he's not a one trick. I don't want to call him a one trick because he's definitely can play other tanks as well. But if he's on that Winston, it's his comfort, it's his world, and we're just living in it, Mona.
Yeah, I mean, you just know he's been all these Winston players, like these really good ones that can specialize. They've just been playing the game for so long, and how like Winston was so dominant for years before they added like the new tanks that came in and put a little bit of pressure. And I gotta say, I thought it was going to be close, and JJ could turn this around, but knowing that it's Gibraltar, looks like it's going to be even harder. I could even see him potentially doing a bit of a switch. Right, they tried to mirror them in the Winston compositions, and it wasn't working out. So I'm hoping that like maybe they do try the Winston again, but maybe try like a double shield sort of composition. We've been seeing, Overwatch League, Atlanta Reign has been finding a lot of success with that double shield comp. Maybe something like that as a bit of a counter to all that burst damage that can come out with a dive.
All right, so now I hope the curse gets broken here because it looks like King Caesar is on their way to winning this out in our charity event here today. And it's again, they're up 1-0 right now. We're going into Watchpoint Gibraltar. All they need to do to win this completely out in the open and along this game, set, match, charity, the whole 9 yards is to finish this out in Gibraltar. And they did not switch sides, so kaiju corp King Caesar will be on the attack to start this match off.
Yeah, King Caesar on the attack, and it looks like they're going for a Ryan. This is a pretty classic like brawl composition, right? They've got the Ryan, Devo, Lucio for the speed boost. They're going to be looking to play around this card, get like speed into JJ as fast and as sudden as possible. But I mean, they've got the bubble, they've got the Brig. It's going to be a little difficult for King Caesar to find that opening as Afro instantly finds Waya.
All right, so here we go. So we're going to get this started off here. Again, early pick coming in from kaiju corp JJ on the Echo at Afro here. So he gets to pick off. And now it's looking just a little bit of stalemate. The cart is still moving forward here, but I mean, not a lot of action going on so far. But it's just going to stay on the high ground. And Lect, on the other hand, is going to start this party off with a kill, and he's going to get a monkey in the face from Insane Waya here. It seems to try to take them down, but not by much. And this Lect, this Hanzo is just being uncontested here, and Insane Waya is trying to deal with it, but then gets taken down right behind it. That's a key pick coming in from JJ here now, and so this cart is going to barrel forward without. Oh no, it's just going to take more down, and Sombra gets taken down from Nathan. Tracer. Nathan gets taken down by Afro. It's now looks like kaiju corp King Caesar is going to reset. I'm sorry, I cast a curse this to oblivion here.
Yeah, everything you say they just prove wrong is Lect finds Hida again somehow. Like, and again, Lect is a hyper flexible player. I've seen him play in these like tournaments, flex support, both roles in the DPS. But I think when he's on the DPS, he's always just shines the best when he's able to get on these like flex DPS roles, like the Far and the Hanzo, those classic flex ones. He's able to put in so much damage, and seems like he just doesn't miss somehow. He really is like one more mechanically like gifted players in the whole kaiju corp scene. He's just showing it right today.
Yeah, for sure. And so Hida is switching over to the Widow here. It's just like he's just had enough here, and he just wants to take charge. But it's not. But the same way, is also going to pop the Primal Rage as well. Yeah, he also got Nano, but I think he got stunned a little bit here. But either way, no, he's still going. And also, I'm sorry, the Nano went into Spooty on the other side. That's where I was seeing that. I saw a Nano Monkey, and I was just trying to remember which side it was on. But either way, it's just going to chase JJ back here. And now this car is moving forward here, and kaiju corp JJ is nowhere to be found. I'm not sure why they went all the way back here. Again, they have the ults economy to deal with this, but they're not going to contest. They're just going to let this point get to point B, unless Galileo has anything to say about it. Galileo, I should say. And you guys got the Diva Bomb's card, going to pop it right on top of this point, but then the duplicate comes in from Afro onto the Winston. Yeah, here comes the Diva Bomb as well to initiate this fight, and then and it's still the tank from Big still stays alive, and he has this Diva Bomb ready to go as well. Galileo standing on top of this point. The recontest is working here. It looks like they're going to push this out, but now more ultimates are getting invested into this fight. The Diva Bomb from Biggs also comes out as well, along with both rallies from both sides. And this is just going back and forth. And Afro is going to come out that's killing the Hida. And maybe they might switch out. No, I'm not sure. Like, they definitely had the window to start off with. But now it's not looking too good right now. The car is still stalled right before point alpha here. And it's just looking JJ is going to come out on top. And looks like King Caesar is going to reset. I don't know if they have time to reset here. They have 60 seconds left in the clock.
Yeah, it was a rare showing of like miscommunication or anti-synergy from King Caesar, or Wyatt just kind of went into the back and he was caught all alone 1v5ing as the rest of King Caesar was backing out. But now they got the pick, and Nano, Winston, Wyas kind of trying to redeem himself here, and hopefully he can find it, but Afro just kind of two taps Nathan on the Tracer.
Oh my goodness! And so the Nano went onto the Diva. The Dragon's Drag is invested as well. I mean, everything's coming out. There's 1.44 meters left, but it's still. I mean, kaiju King Caesar looks like they're going to come out on top here if they can just clear this last McCree off, but not if he gets to take his shots to the face from the McCree. But they did that to Investors Rally as a last second measure here, and now we've hit this point. But unfortunately, kaiju JJ has just made this difficult for King Caesar. They've cut down a lot of their time bakes, and now they're just playing on desperate measures here.
Yeah, they really are. But I mean, this second point is always so hard to defend, especially when the attacking team can get it all the way past this halfway point. It kind of loses all the chokes that the defending team has. Hida just standing in the middle, no protection, no cover, anything, just taking pot shots, and he gets punished for it.
Yeah, he just switched over to the Cowboy here to try to get some value off of it. I mean, he's very, very close to that Deadeye, so maybe it was worth the effort here. But Nathan, on the other hand, it's also the specialist King Caesar is a team of specialists here, and Hida is definitely the Tracer specialist on their team, and it's probably going to get some value off of it. But not the Diva Bomb from Biggs gets nothing, and now we're just it's kind of the scatter fight here. Switty has popped the Primal Rage to try to get some value. At least gets one kill, but it's just it's almost a little too late here for JJ here. They were looking too good. No, okay. So I was looking for probably a pop for the other Diva Bomb from Galileo, but he's decided not to pop it at that point. So JJ has the advantage here, and King Caesar looks like they're going to reset, or maybe not. They got a minute 30 on the clock. I guess it's desperation time for Mona. I mean, not for you, but
yeah,
for the team.
It's going to be desperation time for me soon because I was just in shock by King Caesar letting it go. They had such a good advantage. Now JJ's kind of got the good point, right? They've got the defensive position early. Hida tries to find the Deadeye, and he gets Ranox somehow. Yeah,
he was staring at the face of the Deadeye. The duplicate comes out for the Cowboy as well. They try to get the Deadeye doesn't come out as well from Afro. He's trying to get some value off. He gets nothing off of it, but he at least gets the mech from Biggs as well as on the way out of the duplicate form. And now Insane Wyatt is back onto the Primal Rays, and he just has to jump away. He has nobody here for support. JJ is looking extremely good right now. If they can keep this hold here in the middle of this cart, they will probably hold on and have a better attack phase as it goes on. But Hida and Mo combined for 2 kills, and they're going to try to push this forward here. But JJ has the ult advantage, and they're just going to be walking into a brick wall.
Yeah, they really are. King Caesar, they've got their work cut out for them now. They've taken full HP, but I mean, without the ultimates, this dragon on the card is going to be super helpful. But I mean, I said they got the work cut out for them, and they instantly find 2 picks, and now they've got the advantage.
Oh dear, here we go again. So Diva Bomb is going to get popped right on top of this point here. Oh, and also Hida was popped as popped the Deadeye as well. And the kills are coming in from King Caesar. Look at this, right off the Deadeye gets 1, and now it's just they come just barreling forward here. And it's almost a disaster for JJ. They almost had it to hold them at Point Bravo, but now we're barreling for Point C, and it's going fast. And they're just going to play at the spawn doors here to see if they can get some additional value. It's not looking good for JJ right now, but that's not saying much considering the time bank.
Yeah, a minute 20 on the clock. They've got to get around this corner. JJ, they expended most of their ultimates trying to hold him in that last-ditch effort, but now Nathan, he's in the back. He's going to try and get that execution onto Ranoc or Tentacles if he can, but looks like he kind of needs to back out and join the rest of his team in the fight as it kind of breaks down in this first corner, and it's the classic Gibraltar third point. They're kind of poking around the corner. Both teams waiting for something to, like, the little go button for them to be able to put pressure onto the team.
All right, again, the ult timing is going to favor King Caesar into this next fight. I mean, people are looking for targets, but the same way it goes down early as an early pick. This is not now instead of looking good for King Caesar as the numbers go down. They're going to have to save and restart for this next fight. They will have a full rack of ultimates going into this next one. It's basically final fight territory. If they don't win it off of this next fight, it's not going to work. But the Diva Bomb, not Diva Bomb, but the Pulse Bomb finds Lect, and now that's the go button for King Caesar. They're going to jump right back in. They have the advantage as well. The Nano goes on top of Insane Wyatt. He's looking just to wait for the end of that Nanos and then go into Primal Rage, but Hida is looking for the Deadeye, gets nothing on top of it. No, but he goes down without using the Primal Rage. It was not looking good. Okay, the card's still moving forward here, but that pick might be the thing that does it, that turns this around for JJ if they can capitalize on it, but it doesn't matter if Nathan could also pull off a kill into the tank as well, and a sleeping Winston on top of this card. It is 10 seconds left of the clock, and the card can still stop right short here. They have to win it here and now. Now the Primal Rage comes in from St. Wyatt as a last minute effort. He gets stunned and slept for his troubles, but it's still overtime now, and he's still playing inside of this the spawn doors. Nathan has the pulse bomb ready and waiting, and the Diva Bomb gets popped off right on the point as well. But the numbers are still we're not in the advantage for Kaiju Corp, but they still pull it off. But we're at 0 seconds on overtime now. It's not looking too good.
I'm not sure how they capped there. It seemed pretty even 5v5, but King Caesar, they managed to cap the point somehow. It might have been a lapse conversation from JJ or a well-placed ultimate that we missed as we were watching an epic of a Tracer duel that lasted maybe a minute straight, the entirety of that fight, both Tracers going at it. And King Caesar, they managed to catch JJ, either put some pressure on him or catch them off guard a little bit, and they were able to cap the point. And that's so important, right? Like, it's escort, so it doesn't matter if it's over a minute, you're getting to overtime no matter what, as long as you cap. And that was, if you're like JJ, I think you're pretty hopeful for this one. Like, I know King Caesar fully capped and all, but this is kind of like the big Winston map, and you're expecting, this is where Waya, Biggs, and like King Caesar can sort of put a lot of pressure on the team. But Spooty, Galileo, and like even that backline, they were able to like hold their own. And I think they've got like a real opportunity here to like take it all the way and finish with more time than King Caesar did.
Alrighty here, so here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Kaiju Corp JJ is on the attack. The win condition is on the board. Kaiju Corp King Caesar can hold them before the last point and win the entire Monster Mash tournament. Or Kaiju Corp JJ can push this all the way with a better time bank, and we're going to try go into extra innings. But either way, it's going to be a beautiful fight as we starts off on the high ground here for Kaiju Corp King Caesar, and then it's going to start getting some key picks and pushing JJ back.
Yeah, pushing back. This is some good pressure by King Caesar. Lect again, he managed to find, Lect is always good for a pick or two every fight. As it's going to allow, JJ, they've got the better spawns. King Caesar will have to back up a little bit. They'll put the pressure on there, but JJ should be able to push the point a little bit forward as, there's these light fights are happening. Both teams they're kind of like jostling for space. See if they can get as much damage on the tanks, force them away, maybe force an ultimate or two.
Oh no! So the Dragon Strike is like on off of the high ground to clear all the members from JJ off right now. But King Caesar's Hada is just going to try to he doesn't care. He dives right into the high ground and gets one pick before getting pushed off. Spooty's going to pop the primal range as well. I'm not sure if he's getting any value off, but no, he gets two. He gets a stomp on the head and another primal range kill. He is just wrecking shop on the other side, and that might be what do it for JJ. Now the attack rising is going to get a pop from Nathan as well. Like King Caesar is definitely fighting back, and he doesn't care. He's going to lose his life right here, but yes, he goes down right away, but not without doing damage to JJ's time bank here. And they're going to probably cap with 2.7, but this Kaiju Corp King Caesar will recontest, and it's looking like JJ's going to have to back up again. But they had the advantage. I'm sorry, this is like 2 or 3 times where they've had the advantage and they just back up, and I'm like, why? Why are they backing up?
Yeah, I wish I could tell where these advantages and disadvantages are like coming and leaving from. It seems like no matter like if one team is winning, then you find out like, oh, this other team hops in, gets a couple of picks, and suddenly they're right back into it, right? And now this is the kind of the danger zone for JJ. They've got a minute 40 left on the clock, just about, and they really got to win a fight. But it's first point Gibraltar, right? It's so hard to finally cap that point. But they've got the double sword ultimates, Tentacles and Ranak. Like they can switch this fight really well, right? Like get Spooty in a position, or Afro, maybe Nano Afro, and you can get in there, Nano Spooty, and you can put a lot of pressure. Or Hida can get a pick and ruin all those plans, and now they've basically just got to reset again.
Oh, and also the Ada looked like they were asleep on the other side as well. So now it's desperation, as you mentioned, it's desperation time for Kaiju Corp JJ. They were looking so good on their last defense and took Kaiju Corp King Caesar all the way to 0-0 on overtime. But now they've got 1:05 on the clock to find an answer here. And not what maybe this is the start. This is the start of the comeback. And don't call it a comeback. You call it with Spooty on the Primal Rage. It's going to get 2, and they need to follow it up though. And it gets slapped right on top of the point. And it gets woken up right away. I was like, nope, that's not a heads up play so far. It looks like Lect is going to have the Dragon Strike. He's looking for a target, and the Nano Diva is going to be in their face. I'm not surprised he didn't pop it just yet, but he's going to hold on to it as long as he can. He goes down right away, and now King Caesar's numbers are dwindling, and Kaiju Corp JJ is just looking to clean up the rest of their members of JJ on top here. The Diva Bomb is online for Galileo, but not. He's going to use. Wait, Spooty also got a kill as well, but that's the only ultimate in a dream here. 3 members on top of this cart. We're going in overtime. It looks like they might cap or not if King Caesar can recontest here.
Yeah, King Caesar got the Ricochet and a nice bomb. That's going to put a lot of pressure on there from Galileo. Forced King Caesar back a little bit. It split them up, and they were able to capitalize with a lot of damage. You see onto Waya. And now the ultimates are coming out. It's last-ditch efforts here. It's going into overtime, and King Caesar, the DPS, they're getting all the frags, and it's all over. King Caesar manages to take it home for Girls Who Codes in this monster mash.
Wow. Like all the ultimates came online from King Caesar right at the last moment, and congratulations to Kaiju Corp King Caesar for winning it for their group for Fruit Tank, which will benefit Girls Who Code. We will get the lion's share of the donations, but don't count out Fruit. Clown. See, it's Fruit Tank and Clown Garden, and I want to mix up the two names, and so I always messed it up. But either way, congratulations to Fruit Tank and Kaiju Corp King Caesar for winning this out. And yes, the other thing that's congratulations on, it's like this is 2 tournaments in a row where a Kaiju Corp curse has been broken here. So now in the same way, you can't tell me that if I cast your match, you lose. Okay, it's just like you did win. You won a match. So here you go. I mean, it was against another Kaiju Corp team, but you did win. So you can't blame me 100%. No, in all seriousness, no. Congratulations for them pulling this off.
Yeah, it's exciting, and you get to make sure that Wyatt doesn't sick the Kaiju Corp Mafia on you, blacklist you from his games. So there's all that. We got money going to 2 important charities that are very helpful for our community in general, and we got to see some exciting games. It really was just, all in all, just a great show.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All I have to say is, man, like look, we put this together at the last second, and I'm really always appreciative of Kaiju Corp for giving us the opportunity to kind of put some of this stuff on. I mean, everything they put together is kind of like, it's definitely down to the wire. It's definitely interesting Overwatch to play, and we have a cadre of casters and people. Like we almost had Clutchy from Hawaii actually do this, but it was really early in the morning for him, so unfortunately we didn't get to have him on. But either way, thank you so much, Mona, for coming in. Thank you to everybody who's watching and checking us out. But this was, like I said, this like for a last minute production. I think this worked out pretty well, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it was good. Yeah, thanks again for having me in here. It's always fun to catch these Kaiju Corp events, and thanks also to everyone who donated. I know I saw a couple people in chat said they were trying to donate, and so I think everybody who donated, anybody who like watching sport anyway, just thank you guys.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna put this command in the chat one last time. So it's exclamation point donate. Even if even the show goes over today, the donations will still go. I'm not sure when Tango's gonna cut this off, but again, these are 2 important charities: Girls Who Code and Women in Games International. Definitely in these times. So thank you all for supporting all of everything we're gonna do. And the last thing I will personally say is that, if you haven't noticed, I've slowly hinted at it, we've got a special announcement. Some people may infer what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, but I'm really we've waited long enough, and the audience is going to know. So we're going to definitely release this announcement tomorrow. It is 1 p.m. Central Time. You're not going to want to miss it, because if you miss it, you might miss out on something even bigger than this. But it's all I can give you guys right now. I know I'm horrible at this. I'm really horrible at like news and information, but there's a good reason for this. Trust me, there's a really, really good reason for this. And then there's also some people working on some of this other stuff that you make it more of a surprise if this happens in the next 12, 14 hours or so. Either way, so for us, 1 o'clock tomorrow is going to be our announcement. We also have, ladies and gentlemen, the Battle for the Midwest, which is going to be in 3 weeks here in the end of September, which is going to be a high school and college focused tournament for both Overwatch and Valorant. And we will be there to produce and cast it all, and it's going to be in person. Yes, it's going to be a LAN. So if you are a high school college team, Kaiju Corp is kind of like the main organization to help us out here to put this together. So you can contact them on Twitter and get some more information about this tournament. But either way, that's going to do it for us. Mona, final thoughts other than Kaiju Corp wins?
Yeah, Kaiju Corp wins. They always win somehow. They pull it out. And I said all my thanks. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for you. Thanks for everyone producing. Blizzard, especially observing and all that.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get the guys in the back. We do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah. Thank you for my Blizzard for coming clutch again. He had a haircut, so he came from the salon all the way to produce and observe some Overwatch for us this afternoon. So thank you so much to my Blizzard, to Juggle God, and to Thunder McFadden. It was one of his first not the first Overwatch cast, but definitely first time with us, and so they did pretty well. Thank you for coming in, and also to Captain Jack for coming in. Despite the basement, the basement chronicles as it were. So So thank you all so much for your support, watching the cast or watching the stream. We will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. For our special announcement for this thing that we're going to be doing. It might be very obvious what we're doing, but you should probably come in and check it out. So later, goodbye, Nwana, and we'll see you. Have a good day. Be safe.
I guess.